Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 333. All threes. Got a fun show tonight because we have some video games to talk about. We got showcases that happened, controversies hitting, new accessories, shattered dreams around the Vita too. It's a lot of fun. Let me go around here. Let's see. Starting on the left of my screen, we have Dreamcast guy.
Hey, how's it going? Armored Core. Woo!
Armored Core. Yes. Yeah. The video for that. You're playing that. We'll discuss all about Armored Core. We have Josie. Josie's with us tonight.
Oh no. Hello. Hi.
Okay, good. All right, there we go. All right, good. Did you figure out your internet?
I did. It was weather conditions, so it's supposed to be pretty good now.
Okay. Oh yeah, how'd everything go over there anyway?
I'm fine. It was pretty crazy for a second, but we're good.
Is your internet on satellite? Weather conditions.
You know, I don't really know how it works, so I just kind of live here. No, it's not hot. That was the issue.
I just live here.
None of this matches up.
We have OJ here holding up the pre-stream.
Yeah, what's up? Good to be here.
Good to have OJ with us. We got RGT.
Howdy.
And we got Jordan Fringe.
Hello.
Jordan Fringe. All right, good. Jordan's still fighting with Discord.
Yep.
Well, hopefully they'll decide next year they're ready to help you. We'll see.
Fighting for his
my life out here.
And then we got Evan, and Evan was playing a game. He can talk about a game tonight. This is exciting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I play games a lot, just not often that we all play them.
Yeah. Well, you play like the multiplayer PC games. This is like one that everyone's kind of played, or most people have played kind of together. So this will be interesting. It'll be good. I do want to give a shout out to John O, who is executive producer tier over on the Spawncast Network. Check out the Spawncast Network. You can join up, get all kinds of cool content that's going up there. A lot of fun. Check that out, spawncastnetwork.com. Link down below. And we also have the bonus show that we'll do for the Spawncast Network coming up with all the questions and everything that were asked. So look out for that. And we got Direct Xbox going up soon. And I talked about a game that got some coverage today, and now people are kind of losing it over Unreal Engine 5. But we'll get into that one. We can start with what everyone's been playing. People like this segment coming back. They like hearing about what we've been playing, even if it's not like the newest game. Actually, I'm curious about what Sean's been playing, because he wrote. Okay, Sean.
No, read it. Read what it says.
It's Super Mario Sunshine's birthday. I know. I'm very happy that you decided to acknowledge that. Mario Sunshine was released August 26th.
Was it?
It was.
I
in the US.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it is Mario Sunshine's birthday. So I appreciate you acknowledging that.
2003? Right?
2002? 2003.
2003.
It would have been 2002.
2002?
Yep. August 26th, 2002. So it is quite old now.
I'm trying to remember what I was doing.
21 years old now.
I don't remember what I was doing.
Yeah, there you go.
I remember I was in high school when it came out, and I was a big Sunshine hater. I was a big Wind Waker hater too, because I was.
Oh man, you were one of them on the forums, smacking around Wind Waker.
I wasn't on the forum, but I Wind Waker. Whenever I saw it,
leave Wind Waker alone.
Yeah, I was like, it's cartoon Zelda. Oh, it's dumb.
A lot of people did that though.
People were on me about that too. It was me against like 50 people on that forum. Like, nah, this looks good. They're like, shut up, Nintendo nerd.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're on IGN's Nintendo board. Why are you yelling at me?
And then
Space World ruined everything.
It came out and it was like, oh snap, it's actually really good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was good. All right, Deshaun, what have you been playing then?
No Mercy.
I respect it.
There's a bunch of there's actually a new mod coming out for it. It should be out this upcoming week. That looks really good. They've done some crazy shit. Like, you have to download like a separate thing and like go into a hex editor to like make it sync up audio, but it has like commentary and stuff in No Mercy. It's really wild stuff.
Look at this guy, proud PC gamer over here.
He's the emulation king.
I am,
man. Back to No Mercy. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna set you up with one of these new releases, Sean. We'll get you there.
None of them are really interesting to me.
Oh, all right. Let's go to OJ actually, because you wrote down DBZ.
Yes, I'm playing a DBZ game. and it's Attack of the Saints. Replaying that
Good game.
On the Nintendo DS, 3DS, sorry, but it's a DS game. I found my 3DS and I was like, let me play something on there. I got the Majora's Mask one, and I wanted to play Dragon Ball Z. I just wanted to play a good Dragon Ball Z game because I played Dragon Ball the Kakarot, and like it's okay. It's not bad.
It's like that mid-quality tier. I know what you're saying. Yeah,
it's not bad. And Attack of the Saints isn't like, oh my god, some like super AAA DBZ game, but it's really good. It's like it's made by Monolith Soft.
It's a good RPG.
Yeah, they made Xenoblade, obviously, Xenosaga, Xenogears, a lot of cool RPGs, and yeah, so playing.
They made up a lot of stories for that game because it basically just covers like the opening bit of Dragon Ball Z up to when Vegeta, Nappa, and them arrive on Earth, right? So but they have to fill out an entire game with that. So they're constantly branching off the different stories they make up.
They make up all sorts of stuff. Like just the beginning of the game, it's like you're going to some island to get like a crystal ball, right? Like Master Roshi's sister's crystal ball. And like you have Krillin, Yamcha, and Tien all in your party right there at the beginning, you know? So it's just like, so it's just kind of funny. But yeah, no, it's cool. It's a cool game. So, and I was gonna play Armored Core, but it was not in stock. Like they shipped 5 copies throughout like the whole Central California.
I will say I noticed this game is selling out physically a lot of places right now.
I know the shit. Like they got none of like I know my friends that work at these like GameStop, and like there was no copies shipped. Central Valley got no copies of this game. Each store got at least, unless you pre-ordered, there was like 2 to 3 copies per GameStop. There was barely anything.
And
so
special editions are only done through Bandai Namco's site, and I think that didn't even go live until after the game launched. So that was weird.
Yeah, so it's selling out. It's doing good because obviously, like, you know, people are wanting to get the game, but it's also they undershipped it like crazy though. Bandai Namco definitely did not ship enough copies of the game, so I had to buy it from Amazon. So it's coming tomorrow. I got 1 day Prime, so it's coming tomorrow. So I'll play it tomorrow. That was it. I didn't play anything else.
Yeah, unfortunately, Attack of the Saiyans is like $70-$80. So turn to the emulation king right there.
Yeah.
You got you covered.
Yeah, emulation king. But if you can get, there might be some like I guess there might be. I saw it for cheaper, but I don't know if it's like.
I think there's some repro cards. I will tell you.
Yeah, repro. Okay, yeah, repro cards.
And Sean's got a stupid amount of mini PCs, and it doesn't take much to emulate DS. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
No. DS is super easy.
Yeah, so check out. I guess check out Sean's channel for all those mini PCs. Let's go, Josie. You have a couple. You have 2 things down here. Okay, I'm interested in the first one.
Yeah, I'm playing Ocarina of Time. I'm like finally getting
for the first time.
Well, I've dabbled since I was like 13, but I hated it as a kid. So I'm trying to force myself to play it so that I can either take a hard stance and I don't like this, or be like on the other side. Right now, it's a lot better than I thought. Like when I was a kid, I used to despise it, but now it's not quite as bad. And I got past, or I just finished where you get the bottle at the bottom of the lake.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm like 5 hours in, I think.
Yeah, you got a ways to go still.
Yeah, that's what everyone said. I thought it was like doing okay on pace, but I guess not.
No, there's like a twist as you go through too that opens it up further. So
yeah,
I'll be curious to see what you think of Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be like a month-long project probably because I need to. But yeah, no, it's been a lot better than I thought. So we've sort of come around a little bit.
More Smash Brothers?
Yeah, it's just like every week kind of deal.
Are you making content on it, Josie?
No, I just play it with the homies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I do want to touch on Immortals of Aveum. I decided to pick it up and play it because I had a feeling that it wasn't really going to get much coverage otherwise, and I was not wrong because I did not see many people play this game.
How was it, John?
You know what? At first, because I talked about it a bit on Direct Xbox, that'll be up this week, so it's a few days old technically from that, so I had more time to play it, and I did get some footage. I sent it over to Evan, just like some snippets here and there of like.
Do you want me to show vid now, or you want me to...
Yeah, you can go and show it now if you want. Just go ahead and drop like a couple minutes of it on there, whatever.
All right, let's see if this breaks. Here we go.
All right. If it explodes, we'll be back. But I wasn't really sure what to expect with this because it's from Ascendant, and this is their first game that they've made. They formed in 2018, and they're from. I know one person is from EA, And they formed the studio in the sense of let's try to make something technically impressive. So they've been pushing Unreal Engine 5 this whole time, talking about it. And the first thing I noticed when I turned it on, because I played on the Series X, is the game looks incredibly soft. It is like you can tell that they are operating at a low resolution to try to keep 60 frames to the point where it's very noticeable. And I had mentioned this on, I think I was on Kofi's podcast, and I mentioned that this was last week. And Digital Foundry came out today and said it was like 720p. I was like, yeah, you can tell it is. And the upscaling technique they use is when you move, all the characters break apart, like on their edges and everything. So it's very noticeable. But the game itself is interesting in that it's kind of like a first-person shooter Call of Duty type thing, where it's very fast-paced, but it's all magic-based. So you're not using guns or anything there. You have different elemental magic. Different enemies will kind of line up and take more damage from certain elements than others. And you do sort of have, as I've gone through further, you do have, I can't say it's exactly like Metroid Prime, but it has that adventure first-person mentality to it, not just a straight-up Call of Duty first-person shooter where you just go from set point to set point. There is actual platforming and like grappling. You got a grappling hook, for example, things like that, and a lot of puzzles that they throw in here as well. And they're desperately trying to build this big lore, this big world, this big universe, but it just has not like gripped me, I think, like they were hoping it would. But there's like upgrades you can do for all your weapons. They have full skill trees. There's a gear system that I feel like I don't need to do too much with, to be like, I'm fine with the kind of the gear I've had for a while, and it really hasn't held me back much. I think the game is about 8 hours in. I think it's a 20-hour game, so I'm getting close to being halfway done, and it's fun. I don't know if I would say go out and buy it absolutely for $70. It might be a wait for sale kind of game, but it's definitely a unique experience. So I would check gameplay and stuff on it. So
that's what
I feel like this game came out like forever ago, like earlier this year.
It was going to come out a month ago, and then they pushed it back again. I think it's been delayed. I feel like it's been delayed twice, I think. So it's been talked about here and there, and I think they've shown it in multiple showcases. So I feel like it's that situation where you've seen it a lot, but it hadn't come out still. And it literally just came out this past week.
Yeah.
So
they were showing it a lot. I remember it looks something that I'm cool, but my issue with the first person, that's the only thing that's
they try to hit 60 frames, and it is a fast-paced game, so you're moving your camera a lot, and you're dodging and you're jumping and you're teleporting, and there's a lot of stuff happening at once, so it gets very hectic. And I can see how people might lose track of what's going on sometimes, because they're also switching your magic constantly, and then the left hand controls your shield, and then you have a thing that stuns, and you grapple hook with it, and you're constantly hitting buttons and firing all over the place. So it's there's a lot going. It is fully single player. They didn't try to shoehorn in multiplayer, no microtransactions, nothing like that. So it is a straight point A to point B game, but you can also go back to the old areas and explore and do other things. But people in the chat wondering, that is Immortals of Aveum. So I would keep an eye on that. If you see it drop down in price, I think it's a good $20 to $30 game somewhere in there, especially because there's so many games out right now or that are coming out. So maybe a good.
Does it
Black
have a
Friday
cool
deal.
story?
I feel like the story could be good. I mean, I need to get further in and beat the game to see, because I feel like there is like a twist coming up. They've already tried to introduce a couple of them, but the idea is everyone can technically, a lot of people control magic, and there is a big end war going on between different factions, and one, of course, wants to take over the entire world. So they're going around basically taking the soul and breaking down each landmass or each continent. And they're like, feel like they're unstoppable. You blast them and they just kind of walk through it. So you're basically going around trying to figure out how to beat them. And a lot of that's done through different spells. And basically your character, it can control all forms of magic. So there's like 3 main ones. There's like green, blue, and red magic. And you're one of the tricasters who can control all of them, whereas usually you just control one.
So it's like mini Avatar, The Last Airbender. Okay.
I guess kind of. Hey, if you're an Avatar, there you go. Hop on in. You might like it.
The lady from Suits is in it, right? I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. There's an actress. No? Okay, well, there's an actress.
They definitely have like face models and everything. They have that in there, because I feel like I recognize the the boss, basically the leader of the Immortals. I feel like I recognize her from somewhere. So I don't know if that's from Suits or what, but yeah, they definitely have likenesses from actors and actresses in the game. But I think it's an alright outing for him. The problem is Unreal Engine 5. I don't know. Maybe we need those pro models. Or I need to see more people use UE5 because it's is beating these systems up already. But we'll see. Let's see. Armored Core. Who play? I see a couple people wrote down Armored Core. I see Max played it. Evan played it. Okay, I played it as well. I played 3 hours of it so far. I beat the first boss and got through all that. The first main boss, the Juggernaut, and got through all that.
Oh.
So what's the?
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. I have some thoughts on that, by the way.
That's the wall boss.
Yes, I have some thoughts on that.
No.
It's not the first boss.
That's not the first main
boss.
boss.
That's a mini boss.
That's the mini. Yeah.
Okay. So I beat the Juggernaut one, yes. Which that was not a very good boss or mini boss. I will say that. I did not like the way they put that together, but
I enjoyed that one.
I mean, it was kind of easy.
I didn't like it because it seemed that the way I ended up beating it was just kind of like cheesing the game. So it didn't feel
found
like
the game mechanic.
Yeah.
I got glitched into it and I just sat in there. I have video of it. I just sat in there and just swung my sword over and over again. It couldn't hit me. So I was all right. It was like the third try. It backed. I was in the wall behind it, backed into me. I was inside of it. I'm like, oh, all right. So I started swinging my sword and I just won. It's like, okay, well, there you go. That's how I beat it.
I mean, I fully finished it. It took me about 18 hours total to do it, and man, it is tough. I'm a person. I've played every Armored Core. I haven't beat some of them here and there throughout the saga. This is the hardest one by far, but it's also the most accessible. The button mapping, I think, is better. Repair kits are quicker in general. I mean, it's just more accessible, but also, man. I'm super curious, John, when you get to the end of chapter 1, I think 95% of people are not going to be able to even finish chapter 1. I'm actually seeing on Twitter, I see a lot of streamers and stuff hitting like the first main boss and spending 4 hours just trying him over and over again.
Took me about 2.5, yeah.
Yeah, it took me 2 hours to kill him. And I'll be honest, I had to take a walk around the block at one point. I got him down to 1% and he killed me at the same time. And I was like, all right, I need to just take a moment.
So this is Evan's footage on screen now, kind of showcasing Armored Core 6. But this is on PC. Yeah. How's that running on your PC anyway?
It runs good. This is on the 3600 or the 3060 rather. It runs
okay.
Without too much other stuff running on this computer. It runs on my the 20 series that I have in here pretty fine. So it's pretty good.
Okay, yeah, it seems pretty well optimized for PC. Like I see many people mention they're getting solid 60. Some people saying 120, no problem.
Yeah,
and all that. So.
I beat it on PC, and I have a 20 RTX 2080 Super, I think, and it looked hard locked at 60 the whole time. It looked fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm gonna basically get through Immortals of Aveum first as I'm playing Armored Core 6, and then probably prioritize that before Starfield and all of this hits. But it does feel like the most accessible one. You're right, because I remember on even the PS3. Technically the Armored Core 5 or 4 answer, it was very technical, to where it was kind of a turn off, I think, for just about everyone. This, though, they simplify the HUD a little bit. Even the parts store is a little more simplified, but they still have the stats though at the bottom that I feel like people are looking at like, I guess that one's blue, that one's red. All right, cool.
Have you pulled out the full stat lists? Because there's the.
No, I didn't do any of that yet. I know it's there though.
That stuff changes between everything. There's just like hidden stats and special things they will not show you.
I mean, that's part of the competitive scene. I get it. That's where
that's part of the game. Like there's bosses that have special abilities that some of the guns specifically have stats meant to fight.
I mean, when people start turning the controller backwards, I'm like, that's enough for me.
I think the biggest change they've made that I think a lot of people aren't talking about, but it makes it a lot better. The older games, you could buy guns from the store, and when you sold them back, they'd give you like a fraction of the cost. So sometimes you'd have to some of the missions, you'd also end up replaying missions, and replaying missions gave you less payout, but you'd have to repeat missions to get enough money to buy stuff. Now you get full money for the things you sell, and you get full credit for beating a mission. So you can beat a hard mission over and over again to get a big payout to actually buy the different gear and experiment.
Yeah, I farmed the Strider.
Yeah. Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
you have to farm money quite a bit. I mean, this game is so tough. I see the concurrent numbers. It's like, was it the 4th biggest Steam release of the year? I'm kind of
150,000 concurrent players yesterday, actually. Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. I put up a review about it. I fawned over it. My review's kind of blowing up, and I'm happy about that because honestly, I thought this game would be niche. I think it's just we're in the era of From Software, where even if it doesn't say Souls on the
Sean.
cover, people are willing to buy it.
Tell him, Sean.
Nah, I'm good.
Oh,
Do
wow.
it.
Sean's avoiding the fight. Okay. All right, good. Sean's convinced that the only reason it's doing, well, not the only reason, but one of the big reasons it's really being talked about or having the success is because it has the FromSoft name on it specifically.
I agree, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's that they have come out with so many good. Dark Souls 3 was very well received. Now we got Elden Ring. Sekiro was very well received. So I think it's just that people are like, all right, even if you don't understand it, buy it and try it.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason why the game is doing really good. It's FromSoft. FromSoft is that's people are going to buy the game because it's them. If this game was not FromSoft, maybe people won't buy it as much, but people trust FromSoft, so therefore it's going to get that. Okay, it's FromSoft, so buy it. And then it reviewed really well. So I mean, so the reviews also it's it's 87, 88. Yeah, pick it up. You know?
It still has that feeling of Armor Core where everything it feels very heavy, like your core does as you're going through. You can make them lighter, obviously, you can choose all lighter parts, but then have less armor. It still feels like that more primitive Gundam style game. So
I do want to say it's not a bad thing too for people to buy the game because it's FromSoft. That's a good thing for FromSoft, right? Because then they don't have to be stuck to just making only Souls.
Yeah,
they can
this is a very different game for them.
Yeah, they can make something else, and people can be like, okay, let me try out this. So I actually like the fact that this is having success because maybe they'll try out something completely different from Souls and from this. Like this is completely different. So I actually like the fact that this is having success and it's FromSoft. You know.
They released they were talking to their investors like a year ago, and that's why we first learned about Armored Core. They were saying, yeah, the next Armored Core is done, and we're already working on the next game that is just much more magical. So it sounds like the next game is kind of Lord of the Rings-ish. The way they said it made it sound like it's going to be like not Soulsy at all. So I think that hopefully Armored Core 6 makes people trust From Software, and whatever that next game is that isn't Soulsy at all, I'm super curious about.
So I realize we end up playing a lot of these games throughout the week that we talk about. That's one of the reasons I have the video. We have the video up here now. We kind of got it last minute sort of together, but I'm thinking as we go along, we can try to set it up so that we have like video clips or just some minutes of gameplay as we discuss games for you guys to make it easier. So we're trying to explain it, but that way you can also have, if you're watching rather than listening, you can obviously see the video on screen. So we'll work on that as we go along. But just something else we were kind of adding as we were kind of pulling ideas from the Spawncast network stuff we're doing too. So like Direct Xbox is going to have basically 2 hours almost, it seems, of Immortals of Aveum gameplay, just because that was how long it ended up going. So, but yeah, that's Armored Core. I'll play more of it as I go. It seems like everyone's pretty happy with it. So Armored Core 6 is easily going to become the best selling. I mean, it's not even hard. It needs to sell like 300,000 copies and it's immediately best selling one or something like that. The series has never hit like 1 million copies, and this is going to do that very quickly. So,
very niche. It's crazy to see it mainstream. It's interesting watching people kind of bounce off it. Honestly, I'm seeing a lot of people not understand it.
Well, yeah, they'll come back to it as they go along, but it's a cool game. I think if you're curious about it, definitely check out some gameplay and some of the mechanics. Make sure it's something you would get into, and then go check it out. Jordan.
Yes.
Jordan, what do you play
this week? Not a whole lot of anything.
The Discord. You played Discord?
I played Discord issues, and then I guess a little bit of Fortnite because the new season just started.
There you go. Okay. Hey, the new season. Who are the characters? Is there different characters that added in, or is it just like a different theme?
Yeah, so it's like a new theme and a new battle pass. I'm trying to remember what the big collab is. There's another Star Wars one with Ahsoka coming in. Why am I forgetting who else in the battle pass? There was someone else, I think. But there's future collabs. They're really Persona coding it, but without doing a Persona collab.
Oh, which is they're doing like the heist and stuff like that.
Yeah, like even the poster of it is very much a Persona 5, inspired look, which I don't know, could hint for something that'd be cool. I think a lot of people would like that, but Yeah, that's really about it. I've only had time for a little bit of that, and that was last night when that happened.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Let's go to. We'll start with. We're gonna start with tonight. We're start with Gamescom opening night live. We'll go through this guy. First of all, I want to say Sean was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna stream this. And people can join if they want. And I'm gonna be honest, Sean, it's a good thing you didn't stream this. I feel like you would have been.
I didn't even watch it.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, I watched it because I recorded the whole thing just for Newsway to make it easier on Evan. So just upload the whole thing for him. But this was like 2 hours, and I think there was over 30 games that were shown, but I think only three of them were new. Yeah, the rest were just updates as we went along. I think OJ, you streamed it, right?
Yeah.
Anyone who streamed this, I'm watching this. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah. I streamed it. I mean, it's something's better than nothing, right? I guess.
Well, I have all the announcements here we can go through pretty quickly. Starfield live action trailer, which they are ramping up marketing on Starfield. Or Max, you're asking about that.
Finally, yeah. Here 10 days from launch.
The push is happening. There it goes. It was a good trailer though. They had a nice musical number, and then somebody got on stage and talked about GTA 6 for some reason.
That was interesting.
Yeah, this is the second time in a row this has happened to Keely, and I'm going to tell him now, expect it to happen at the Game Awards in December. Yeah. So get really mean looking security guards around. And
do they have any security? Just doesn't.
They did. The problem is that if somebody decides to go up on stage, they have to react. Unless the security is there waiting, you're going to get on stage depending on where you're sitting. It's going to happen.
Not just that, but
it's hard to stop.
But depending on things, if the security does like some aggressive stuff to prevent it and hurts the person, it could be on the security firm that did it sometimes. Not always, though. It depends on.
I wonder about that because I feel like I watch an NFL game and somebody runs on the field and a player just crushes them. Like they just annihilate them.
I think there's almost like if you get a ticket for something like that, it's almost like a end user license agreement that's just like fuck around, find out. It'd be great.
I feel like if you go to like a concert, for example, and you went up on stage, that the security would probably do something similar to you. I feel like they make it look as not fun as possible to do it.
Like, I mean, they should be fucking tasering these people. You don't know if a motherfucker got a if he's got a knife on him or something. Like he could have died right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I don't get it, man.
You have to basically assume the worst when that kind of thing happens. Yeah. And at this point, what I would suggest is what you see a lot of security do at live events. They just stand like at the bottom where like at the front row and they just look at the audience the whole time.
Yeah. Where they're just facing the audience. Yeah. NFL games have that as well, where they're just looking. And I think NBA, after Malice in the Palace, NBA has some of that as well.
Or that's Jeff, how most concerts are run too.
Yeah. Or Jeff, what I would do is raise the stage up fairly high so it's not easy to get onto the stage. Although that one I think was just really low.
Platform hanging from the ceiling.
I mean, just a way to separate everything from the audience, because that was the guy just stood up and he was there.
Yeah.
He stood up out of his seat and he's immediately next to Keely. That was it.
In the last month, that same guy had appeared on multiple shows. It's some German guy, and he'd rushed the stage at like they were filming some German talk show, and he rushed the stage there too. It's just some weirdo. It's just
he should get fucking shot then.
Yeah, whoa.
The security basically.
That's a shot. You can shoot someone in the leg or something.
Yeah, they get poison from the metal in their blood and die slowly.
That's how Sean Taylor, the football player, he got shot in the leg and he died.
Dimebag Darrell got fucking shot on stage. Like, you can't fuck around with people, man. Like,
I mean, listen. That it's. When you start bringing guns into it, they might try to jack the gun from the person. You never know what can happen. But I mean, yeah, I agree though. They definitely need to do something to help out with the security though.
It did take a minute for the security to get there. The guy was like talking on the microphone about GTA 6 and Bill Clinton and stuff. So it's that's too long then for him to be up there. But the show went on. I will give Jeff credit. He transitioned from that very quickly. It was like, all right, get off the stage. That was it.
I would have knocked that guy's ass out with that microphone. I would have definitely popped him. So that's.
Jeff was so chill about it. Like he just curl the mic away. Like, I don't want, you don't get to yell into the mic. You're an asshole. And the
I
security guy
definitely would have hit that guy. I would have hit that guy with every force I have.
He should have an on-person
You should
cattle
have your
prod
own
for that
award
moment.
show.
Yeah, I feel like I would have pushed him. It's just anybody approaching me, I feel like I would instinctually just kind of like, hey, what the fuck, back off.
Josie, I do have an award show. It's coming this December.
Oh, God.
Oh shit.
And you might be Black Content Creator of the Year on his show, Josie. It'll be great.
What?
Josie doesn't
Nate's
know
won
about
a
it.
couple times in a row. Yeah.
Bullshit.
I did not.
Josie does not know about the award show that we do here.
My
Gonna
bad.
find out.
She's gonna find out.
Let's see. One of the new announcements was Little Nightmares 3. It's coming in 2024. We had Black Myth Wukong that had gameplay in a trailer. I still feel like I need to actually play this game to make sure it's legit because it looks pretty good. But one of those situations where it looks too good.
I think it looks great, but a lot of Dark Souls Twitter, Sekiro Twitter, is like very skeptical about it as well. People are saying that it just doesn't, it looks like it lacks weight. It's like something about it feels like kind of floaty looking.
Killing Floor 3. Evan, you saw this?
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you play Killing Floor 2?
A little bit. Fell out of it because the early stuff for it was kind of meh. They added a ton to it, though, over time, which made it really cool.
We had a lot of fun playing the first Killing
First
Floor.
one was great.
That was good. That's because like during the Christmas time, they had Santa be like the big bad zombie boss or big bad monster boss, and you had to like basically kill Santa.
I mean, that was part of it, but the way the zombies spawned was also wild because if you didn't look in certain areas while you were playing, something would just like spawn behind you. So when me and my friends were putting up the sealed doors and you just hear like the grinding noise behind you, turn around and one of the meat grinders is just walking up behind one of your friends. You're like, I'm not going to be here
That's a
when
good
that
time.
happens.
I'm hoping Killing Floor 3 is good. No release date on it though, just wish list on Steam, so we'll find out as we go. That Killing Floor 2 and all that I know is on consoles as well because I've seen it in the PS5 store a few times. Just kind of navigated past it and been curious. Age of Empires 4. It's out now on Xbox consoles, Game Pass. I mean, Crimson Desert. That game looks like it's trying to do a lot. Like there's so much happening. There's some Zelda in there. There's some Assassin's Creed in there. Some Dragon's Dogma. That's another one that I'm like, I need to see if this game is actually a real thing.
Yeah, that was my second favorite trailer of the whole show, just because that trailer went on. It hits like 20 different genres and art styles. It's like I don't even understand if it's supposed to be an MMO or single player. It just looks so big.
Well, these were the guys behind Black Desert, right? I'm trying to remember. Yeah. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that looks like, I mean, a massive project even for them. So
because
The moveset looks awesome.
they also have that weird modern day like Pokemon thing coming out later, right? Like, or am I misremembering? It's like
I'm not sure. I just know they have Crimson Desert here coming up.
Game.
You watched the trailer though too, Josie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
cool. It was just there, like you guys said, there's a ton going on. So
Well, a lot happening. That's why I got to see this when it actually comes out to make sure it's legit. Let's see. Payday 3. That's out next month.
Yeah,
Actually, a month away exactly.
Doke V.
Doke V.
Remember that? They showed that trailer forever ago.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, that's the one where they had the musical number at the Game Awards. That's right. Payday 3. Sean, you're on Payday 3 when that drops.
Yeah, I'll play it. It's on Game Pass.
It is on Game Pass.
I already played quite a bit of it. It's really good.
I played it. So.
We played it in like the little beta thing they had, or alpha, where they basically gave you one heist to do over and over and over again, where you had to. Well, what we use to go through the floor to the vault and all? I don't know.
Yeah.
Evan, you played a lot of Payday 2 as well, so are you thinking about Payday 3?
I might try it out. I mean, the best parts of Payday 2 is when you had a team that was worth their salt and was able to do actually stealth runs.
Is
there
crossplay? Sean get
crossplay?
mad at the bank teller. Sean walked in and was actually trying to withdraw money while we snuck in the back.
Is there Rainbow Six levels of crossplay where I reinstall hundreds of gigs only to find out I can't play with any of you guys?
No, it is actually crossplay because it shows you the symbol when you boot it up. It's like, is this a PC player? Is this PlayStation? Is this Xbox? So they seem to have that figured out.
We can try some heists and watch Sean fuck it up.
No, John was the one fucking it up.
Hey, I was sneaking around. I was taking keys off of. No, it was Nate. Nate got caught.
Oh.
Remember, we were like taking the keys, and we were rolling, and then Nate punched the guy in the face for some reason.
Yeah.
And he said whoops after he like punched the dude square in the eyes. Assassin's Creed Mirage trailer that's coming out a little earlier than the last than expected. It's October 5th, first week of October. Rebel Moon for some reason. Okay. Tekken, it's coming January 26th. It just missed this year, which is kind of a shame. I would have loved to have seen Tekken come out in November, and then we have a Game Awards show that has a fighting game category with Street Fighter, Tekken, and Mortal Kombat.
Ooh.
That'd have been cool. That'd have been interesting. Josie, are you going to get Tekken?
I will. Yeah, it looked cool.
Okay.
Pretty cool. I don't know how I feel about the single player like chibi people. That was a little strange, but
like the arcade kind of thing they have set up, where it's
yeah,
like
that was bizarre.
Yeah.
They're trying to make it feel like there's more of a single player, more of a carrot on the stick kind of pull to it, rather than just go through the arcade mode we've had forever. And
yeah, when I saw that, I thought they were like gonna let us play like Tekken 1 and 2 and 3 and all that like from this game, but too high hopes, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, you never know. They could add it. You never know.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 trailer. They're going to try it more open-ended levels. There's 16 maps for multiplayer, and they're all from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 from 2009.
That gameplay trailer looked. I actually thought the show overall was good, but man, that Call of Duty gameplay looked boring as hell. Just the slowest, sneakiest mission. I was falling asleep.
They're gonna attempt. It looks like anyway. They're gonna attempt the no Russian level again in this one. So that'll be interesting. I will be curious to see how much Kotaku hates it. Then we have Nightingale. Evan, do you know anything about this Nightingale game?
Only a little bit. I mean, it looks it's sort of like that co-op large world situation that randomly generates worlds. You're supposed to open gateways to go to Fey realms and stuff. It seems interesting, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to get into it.
Early access February 22nd. OJ, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink finally got the release date February 1st.
Finally. It's been like 5 or 6 years. So, I mean, it was cool to see it, but to be honest, I've been ready for the game for years now, so it didn't really do much for me because, like, dude, you guys have delayed this game for forever.
Yeah, it's passed around between developers and everything. So,
and they've been showing it a lot. So it's not like, oh my God, we finally saw some footage. They've been showing the game. Like, we've gotten footage. We've gotten so much footage. There's a whole big old demo of the game, like gameplay and everything. Like, we've been seeing it. So I'm just ready. I'm just happy that it's finally coming, and it's good that it's coming to multiple platforms and not just doing PS5 or PS4 like it was supposed to. Be. They got PC, they got PS4 and PS5, so that's gonna help it out because it's right next to Persona 3 Reload,
day before,
which is not good. That's not necessarily good for
an interesting spot for them.
Yeah, very interesting. I mean, Grand Blue's incredibly popular it's a mobile franchise for those who don't know, and they're finally bringing it over to the console side, so it's incredibly popular. It should have some traction of people from mobile coming over, but. Ooh, that's rough being right now. And then we'll see where Final Fantasy is too. So we don't know where that game is at either. So.
Oh yeah, Immortals of Aveum got its trailer. Then Zenless Zone Zero. That's from the Genshin Impact team. Honkai Star Rail is hitting PS5 Q4 2023. Sonic Superstars October 17th. So it is 3 days before Mario and Spider-Man and all. Wow, it is in that week of just releases all over the place. It does have an online battle mode though. There's something for online, I guess. I don't know. It's Jordan Day One, right?
The hard mute.
Yeah.
That online battle mode looked terrible.
Yeah,
it looked terrible. But it might be fun. It might be fun.
I'm checking out Superstars. I'm gonna see how it goes.
I'm buying the game. I'm definitely picking up the game for sure.
Man, it's gonna be there's a lot of stuff hitting that week. Wow. Okay.
The single player looks the regular game looks great for Sonic Superstars.
Sonic Frontiers also is getting the Final Horizon update, new story, new playable characters, challenges, and Supersonic is later this year. Fort Solace is out now. All right. And Expeditions, a Mud Runner game, is 2024. Then the Crew Motorfest, that's September 14th. There's a free trial for the first 5 hours of the game. Sean will probably be trying that out, I'm sure.
No.
Cyberpunk 2077 expansion trailer is, of course, September 26th. It looks like I'm going to check out the expansion trailer. I was all right with the Cyberpunk, the first game, even though there's a lot of stuff that didn't go how they were describing it in advertising. But I thought it was a above average game. So I will check out the expansion that has, once again, a lot of promises attached to it.
So, dude, the new cop system, I think is the new cops, the new skill trees are what I'm most curious about, because those are definitely where the game lacked most. And they said on both those, they totally overhauled it. So I am definitely there day one.
Stormgate got a trailer. And Last Epoch, that's September 7th. Marvel Snap, it's available on Steam. Interesting. Are people jumping on that on Steam?
So, I did actually. I've seen some people excited for it. I don't know. Some people love the card games, especially because it's free. Yeah.
I don't.
Is
play
it
that
free
game.
on Steam?
I think so. Yeah.
It should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't play that game because the guy who promotes it. That's the only reason why I don't.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
That guy's the reason why I don't play that.
He's
game.
got passion, man. He's
I'm not a fan of that guy.
So, somebody was walking through the halls and being like, "What game are you excited to see?" And that guy was actually walking between stuff, and he went, "Marvel Snap!" He just screamed it right. Like, I know you're paid, but calm down.
Hey,
He reminds me of that one. Who's that one guy? I forgot that flashback guy from E3 all those years ago. I forgot what his name is, but he reminds me of that dude. For anybody who remember, I forgot what it was though.
we had another Armored Core 6 trailer. Warhaven, play it for free September 21st. Mortal Kombat 1 trailer.
That looked great.
Good. Okay, Sindel's in there. Raiden's in there. General Shao. Not Shao Kahn, General Shao. Sean, you didn't like how Raiden looked.
I don't.
Why? What's wrong with Raiden?
I think it looks weird.
They'll probably have a
Well,
skin in there for the older look, so it'll be fine.
He's too hot. That's
So
the
do you think,
problem.
I mean, throughout the story, maybe he becomes like old Raiden? Would
Probably
that be all right
not.
for you? No. I mean, Mortal Kombat 1 looks good, Sean.
I mean, yeah, it does, but I could still not like the character model or the character design.
I like the story that because they have Liu Kang and Raiden switching places, basically, where Raiden's kind of representing Earthrealm.
In
that
reboot
fight.
number 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. Yeah, but this actually, I mean, it looks interesting. I don't, what else could they have done? If you get to the end of Mortal Kombat 11, there's nothing. There's nothing left.
Keep rebooting
Just
it.
keep
Mortal
rebooting.
Kombat 1, 2.
That's the
They
secret.
basically-
Mortal
yeah.
Kombat's in a tight loop and it never changes.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat Omega?
Because Mortal Kombat 9 was also a reboot too, right?
It was, yeah. It was.
So I
yeah.
remember, that was
But
also.
that was
a reboot.
that was them rebooting, but also going through and telling the story we already basically knew. With some little twists in there, like Cyber Sub-Zero. In this case, though, this is like completely different. Like they have different variations of characters, and they've set the storyline up differently. It could be interesting to go through with. So
You get a reboot. You get a reboot. Get a reboot.
we'll see how the story plays out. Maybe there are some fun twists in there. I don't know. The game itself looks good. The X-rays look brutal. The one Sindel did, I'm sure, had a lot of people like tightening up. Or a History Untold 2024, Diablo 4 Season of Blood. I don't know if people still into that, Max, or is Diablo 4 like on its
So the concurrent players are in the gutter. Everyone's quitting the game, but additionally, a lot of people are annoyed because they just released Season 1, which broke the game, and now they're saying, "All right, we're going to totally fix it in 2 months." So the right now, because I participate in the Reddit a lot, and a lot of the people are just being like, "So you have a gigantic button that says fix the game, and you're telling us you're not going to press it for 2 months? Like, why in the world would anybody play that?" So everybody is mad, because I think that looks cool, but I'm not going to wait 2 months for the game to be playable.
Dustborn is early 2024. Thank goodness you're here is 2024. And then Alan Wake 2, that was the closeout, October 27th. Of course, they showed us the new release date technically in the trailer, and it looks really good. It does. Everything they showed looks like it has kind of that mystery horror vibe to it, and 3-4 days before Halloween, so it fits in perfectly. Gets out of the way of everything that's happening in October too. So I'm interested, looking forward to trying it out, but it's going to be on the heels of all this stuff coming out and then more stuff coming up. Like Star Ocean is out 5 days after that one drops. So man, it is rough. It is rough. There's a lot of stuff hidden, but I'm sure Max, you'll be checking that one out in a review, and I'll be playing it as I have time too.
Dude,
so
I'm so excited for Alan Wake 2, man. Oh my god, that was my game of the show. That trailer, especially, it looks so meta. The fact that the actors who are playing the characters Sam Lake, the director of the game, as a detective that's searching for Alan Wake. I think this game is going to be super meta. I think Alan Wake is going to be like one of those games people are going to be really talking about.
And that was opening night live for Gamescom. It was updates on a lot of games we already knew and about 3 or 4 new announcements. So I understand why there was a lot of like, there wasn't a lot of excitement necessarily coming out of that. So I understand where people are coming from. But the event itself at Gamescom seems to have done pretty well. Like people are getting a kick out of the different booths there, kind of getting together and discussing some games, which we'll actually get into here in a minute with a meeting that actually got a game onto the Xbox. But for the most part, it was ho-hum, I think, for Gamescom opening night live. It's kind of in a tough position, though, isn't it? Because E3, well, Summer Game Fest, where there are big announcements, that's in June. And then 2 months later, you have this. And then like 3 months later or so, you have Game Awards where there are really big announcements. So this isn't like no man's land.
Keeley told us, like, hey, this is, not going to be anything.
Right.
So
he didn't try to build it up like it. Once he didn't want to build anything up, I'm like, oh, okay, this isn't probably going to be like something you're going to remember necessarily. So, but the updates we got were good. We saw gameplay of several games and just got longer looks at them. So for what it was trying to do, I think it was fine.
I really enjoyed it. I think going in, I don't know. I think it was one of the better Keeley shows. I feel like there's some that really dragged. This one, I think, at least it was just updates, but every update was a good update.
Okay. Let me go over to some of the super chats here. Larvey says Konami is back, baby. Z-Bets. Oh, sorry. Konami is back, baby. Like that, right? Okay, there you go.
Yeah, you got ratio though, Sean.
But I'm still not wrong.
He called me an idiot twice. I had to do something.
No, you can't sit here and claim you got obliterated.
I wasn't wrong though. It was not a definitive statement. It was
ratio that bad and say you're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
It was a rightful ratio.
You said in your video that I asked you a question, and you're right. I was reading off of a thumbnail.
You're an idiot.
You said someone on this podcast asked me a question.
It was like a 4-to-1 ratio. It was 4-to-1. It was like a 4 to 5 to 1 ratio, though,
man. Sean got a bunch of impressions from it.
Yeah, it was good. That's
Z-Bet says Sony should have added SD card storage on the portal and store access to allow the device to act independently from the PS5. It's just a $200 controller. Fishfan says, RGT, how's Gma? Any good eats this week? Update on Cosworth and who's right on the MGS Konami controversy. You or John, your thoughts?
I'm right, as usual. Grandma's good. She came over today. I actually saw her Thursday. My uncle had a birthday celebration, so we were over there for that. Yeah, she's good. A lot of pasta.
What's the word on Cosworth?
Can we hold this silence? Because this isn't awkward at all.
I feel like I don't know if he's typing something up.
No, I didn't hear your question. Sorry. I'll have to repeat it next time a little bit louder.
Update on Cosworth.
You cut out. I'm sorry.
I said, did you get that?
Yeah, life is good. Thanks for asking.
This is from Cristobal, who says, I'm a fan of Robotech Macross. I enjoyed games like Zone of the Enders and Virtual On. Armored Core 6 may be the best mech game to date. Any thoughts?
It's good.
Yeah. When it comes to mech games, it's definitely... I don't know. I think it actually has that weight. Somebody earlier said it has that weight and heaviness. When you win, you feel like you freaking won.
Okay. And this is from Jalen says, who asks, how was the taco date, RGT85?
I didn't go.
What? Oh, you were gonna meet the wrestler.
Yeah, I was gonna meet Tito. His prices were a little high, honestly.
Prices to meet him?
For the picture and autograph, yeah, I thought it was a little too high.
Oh, interesting. Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't just take currency and tacos?
Wow, because he's a Hispanic man, he's supposed to take currency and tacos. I see.
No,
you, John.
because
I would take currency and tacos.
Because you said you were going to show up and give him as many tacos as he requested because it's at a taco festival where you try tacos. He said, I will give him however many tacos he wants as long as I can get my picture and autograph.
Well, it would have been way too many tacos.
Oh, well. Zbat says, "Hey John, what percentage does your network take from your YouTube?" I don't know what it is now. They've been lowering it over time. I get an exact figure, but I think it's like 4 or 5% now. Callan Shaw says, AC6. It's so easy, and then I'm stuck on a boss for hours. Maybe I can beat this one before the episode is over. Limited Time says, just retired at 38. Need recommendations for my time.
Hookers.
Wow.
Wow.
Hooker, yeah. Just do a little bit of the cocaine.
I think I meant for games.
Sit on your couch, turn the lights out, and have some dark thoughts.
Just retired at 38. Wow. That's pretty impressive, actually. That's you got a lot of time in front of you,
right?
then.
I know one dude who.
Not if you're doing drugs and hanging out with hookers.
Right,
You're not gonna have a lot of time in front of you.
Starfield's coming up. Sounds like you're gonna get a lot of time out of Starfield.
I suggest going to the gym, getting like shredded and ripped.
Yeah, get yoked.
If I had nothing else to do, if I had nothing else to do, that's all I do. I just freaking go to the gym, work out all day, then come home and play video games. That's all I would do.
Yeah, same.
Pierre says, fact, any Sonic game blows Spyro out of the water any day of the week.
Well, I came back at the right time.
Jordan.
Welcome back, Jordan.
Listen, you're factually wrong. I hate you, and I never want to see your face here again. That's what I have to say about that.
Zbat says, welcome back, Evan, Creamcast guy, and Mr. Fringe.
I love Creamcast guy. It's a good one.
This one's from X Trash Lost to King Nintendo. As here to defend Sonic after the slander I heard last week. Also, Parasite Eve's North America 25th anniversary is next month. How are you all celebrating, Sean? They specifically want to know the celebration details for Sean, apparently.
I guess I'll play the game again because there's nothing new to experience with it.
Fired up. Yeah.
Square Enix.
T-Joe says Apple makes its own AirPods, and why you don't get full functionality on devices that Apple's, at least they let you use them on other devices. Child says, what's up bonus? Hey holes. Hey Spawn, what's the difference between Remote Play and Xbox One Pass? Love you guys, love your stream. Pause. Xbox One Pass, you can do Remote Play on the Xbox as well if that's what you're referring to. But I've used that from a computer before. But Remote Play, you just connect with your phone or a tablet, or in this case, the Portal, and it uses your PlayStation as the main processing unit, and it just does inputs through your Wi-Fi. Richard says PlayStation Portal will be a hit, not even a doubt. We can talk about the PlayStation Portal now, actually, since people seem very interested in that. PlayStation Portal, which we already knew about this, the PlayStation Project Q, we already knew about it. And it was going to be coming out this year. So we were running out of time for details on this. And actually that we're running out of time for the PlayStation 5 revision, provided that is still coming out this year. But PlayStation Portal is the name. Pricing's at $199.9. Works through Remote Play, through Wi-Fi for the PS5. Wireless audio headphones. Those are locked to PlayStation Link, which is a proprietary wireless connection specifically designed for audio, it seems like. So, and they have, I believe, the two devices they showed off alongside of it with PlayStation Link. So earbuds and the Elite PlayStation headphones. So $150 or $200 for those. And it is the first Remote Play device to have all the DualSense features. So the triggers on the back, the haptic feedback, targets 1080p 60 frames. No cloud streaming though at this time. And this is an interesting thing that exploded online, just the conversation around it. Probably because of the proprietary connection with the wireless, which is, I don't know why there's no Bluetooth. That is a weird
It's so anti-consumer.
Yeah, I saw
you said it. Oh, you said it.
I mean, even Josie says that. I saw Marquise Brownlee make a short on it and mention Apple wouldn't do something. I'm like, ooh, Apple. Apple wouldn't do that. Sony did. That's rough. He's very in tune with Apple, obviously. But the fact that, yeah, Apple, who's viewed as pretty anti-consumer at times of their pricing, even they're like, well, we can't do that with our wireless connection for audio. That's
Is there a headphone jack? There's not, right?
There is. There is the
Mhm.
3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Yeah. So that is at least there. But
is
I
bad.
know nowadays a lot of people just have wireless earbuds or headphones around now, and it's like, well, I'd like to use these. Like some people, I'm sure have, like they just bought Audeze or whatever, and their headphones are like $1,000 some odd dollars. Imagine if you had those, and they're like, oh, you can't use these. That would be that'd be rough. I don't know, the PlayStation Portal, Sean has a video that says stupid on the front.
I did a video saying
the video.
I said I did a video saying it looks interesting and I'm going to buy it, but I don't know how much people are going to use it. Like, I don't know. Like I'm super obsessed with my Steam Deck right now. I'm playing it even during the podcast. I just put a bunch of emulators on it. And like the fact that the Steam Deck is every Steam game and every retro game, and it docks and works. I don't know. It's weird. I think I'm super interested to play the Portal, but the fact that it has no standalone functionality at all feels like a mistake.
Yeah, it relies heavily on your
understand
PlayStation,
why-
your PS5.
I don't understand why anybody would be hyping this up. Since when are we about streaming and always online?
Stockholm syndrome.
We've always talked about. No, let me just keep it a buck here. We've always talked about no streaming, no always online. It should always be an option. Now people are hyping it up and saying that they want to buy it and play it. This is ridiculous. It's because it's PlayStation. I don't know, man. But if anybody's doing this type of thing where they're making this ecosystem is ridiculous. You can't even use your own Sony earbuds that you have on it. Plus, you have to have the PS5. If you want to operate this whole thing, PS5, if you want earbuds, that's $200 plus this thing, that's another $200. It's like damn near $1,000 for everything total. Like this is, and I see some people hyping it up as if, now we're going to, it was never good before. And the xCloud is stupid. I don't want to use that either, streaming stuff. So I don't understand why not all of a sudden people are trying to hype up a streaming thing that has no offline, no local play at all. Why? What's the point?
Yeah. And
I don't get it.
I want to mess with it just because I'm curious, especially because I spend so much time on the treadmill. I walk at 2.5 miles an hour on my treadmill and do like 5 miles a day. So I think it'd be cool to actually be able to play it on my treadmill pretty easily.
You're a content creator, so I get that. But you have a Steam Deck, you have a Switch, you have all these other devices that are native,
that are better,
that do not stream. So I personally think it's like, I don't see why anybody would want this unless you really don't have any of these other devices and you truly just love PlayStation so much to the point to where you're willing to stream something, which we all know it's not going to work like Sony says that it's going to work. We all know it might for some people, but remote play and streaming has never been the best option for games. People are trying to tell themselves that there is, and I'm sorry if I'm pissing people off in the chat, but it's never been Stadia. We all said Stadia was trash for streaming, right?
Oh, whoa. I said Stadia was great.
Yeah, we all said Stadia was terrible, and this thing is only online. There's no local play. It's only online. So it's very much like that. It's very much like Stadia, right? In a way. And that we all said that was terrible. So I don't, personally to me, if you got a Steam Deck, if you've got a Switch, if you got any one of these other portable PCs, just play that. PlayStation doesn't have so much stuff to the point to where it's worth streaming and getting a worse experience just because it's PlayStation. I don't know, man.
People can also get the backbone. This is the PlayStation backbone, so you can actually just still right now you can play remote play on here. So I've done this to test it out. I did it for a video. This is a much cheaper option. Like I can literally play PlayStation games. That's my other thing is that it seems really weird of that the $200 price point. I don't know. I can't imagine this is even going to sell 200,000 units. It seems so niche.
I see it as just another controller. So the DualSense Edge actually sold pretty well for Sony at this point, like shockingly well, to where it's like leading the MPDs for accessories. So in their mind, $200, it's like it has a screen, so it has that perceived value of it's like a tablet with controllers attached to it. I kind of see it as basically the thing you'll keep on the side if somebody else needs to use the TV and you want to play your PS5, you can do it. If you do it through your Wi-Fi connection, it'll be serviceable, but it's not going to be as if you're playing the PS5 game there on it. But I'm curious about the build quality and then the experience when you're actually using it, if it's decent. Because I've used remote play on my phone or a tablet or even on PC, because you could do that there, and it's less than ideal. So
I don't hate it, but yeah, it's that it's. I mean, I guess I feel like I'm never gonna play a full game with this. I guess that's part
oh
of it.
yeah,
It's like I think I like the idea. I have a lot of house parties and movie nights at my place, so I like the idea that since everything's downstairs, if I want to show someone something, I like the idea that I could just like get out my screen and boot up my save file. But even then, I'd be playing it for 2 minutes. I would not actually play it.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I'm looking at it though, and I've seen people mention it's like, well, it works for me because it's people use the TV, and I want to still play my PS5, and yeah, I guess that would work fine, and it's just viewed to me as another controller, not even a system. People really want this Vita too. I just don't think there's a future for something like that with Sony, or even I mean, none of them can do it now. It seems like can't have two SKUs or two ecosystems anymore. We have one.
This thing just sounds like the Wii U.
See, I see that. I see people mention this Wii U, but like the Wii U's idea was the dual screen setup in the living room, and this is just like the one aspect of the Wii U where you could play off screen with games.
And it's
so
not
like
even
the
native.
worst aspect of it.
I mean, the least creative aspect of it. Yeah.
It's not native either. So at least it's like you actually run the games and then it's like beaming it, right? But that was one of the marketing points that Nintendo first showed off with the Wii U. It's like, oh, if someone's using the TV, you can just play this right there on the screen, like what New Super Mario was when they first showed that. But I mean, yeah, if people want to get it, that's fine. But I'm not going to sit here and champion always online when we've been sitting here and shitting on always online for a while now. And then all of a sudden, now we don't shit on it. Oh, well, now we're not going to shit on it. It's good now. Like, nah, I'm good. But for those who want it, that's cool. It's great. Get it. Buy it.
I think this is a thing for content creators and for dads who need to let their kids watch Cocomelon. And that's about it.
Grab a Switch, grab something else.
Well, right, there's better options, but
on my Switch, I can't play Final Fantasy 16 on it.
Grab a 3DS, grab anything else that you can do, anything but that. Always online streaming, but hey, if you need to play PlayStation,
it's remote plays from your PS5 though. You don't have to go through a server for it. It just goes through your Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah. And what if they're playing, or what if somebody else is on there? What if you want to start adding variables? What if there's a weather? What if there's a storm? Right, Josie? What if there's a storm? What if somebody wants to watch Netflix?
I have no intention of getting this. It's not going to work at my place.
I'm just saying, like, people are adding in variables. Let's add in some variables, right? To the online. Let's add in some variables. What if your power goes out? Oh, I guess you can't play shit now. Like on that.
I wish.
You can buy the backbone. The backbone's $100. You're already halfway there, and then you just have that one thing. So I feel like if you're gonna do that, you're already thinking, well, I got to put my phone in there and stuff. And
what if your internet service provider starts throttling you, which they do all the time? What if and it starts varying levels of quality? All of a sudden, it starts going kind of beaming in and out, which happens on remote play and Wi-Fi. I'm just saying.
Well, you can't do cloud streaming with it, so they don't allow that.
I know that's the weirdest thing.
Weird.
PlayStation now cloud streaming. I watched some tech breakdowns on it. I haven't done it myself, but apparently it's actually really fast and good now. So the fact that it's not allowed on this seems like such a weird misstep. I still think the weirdest part is that I've been playing Sea of Stars this week. That's about to come out on PlayStation. It's such a good game that's super tiny. It's like this is the kind of stuff that should be native on the Portal. Something should work natively. The fact that nothing works natively, even like tiny retro bit Vampire Survivor, nothing works on it. It's very weird to me.
It probably could. I mean, honestly, it probably could emulate. I mean, Sean, how difficult is it to emulate PS1 games right now?
No, it's not hard at all.
I feel like, I mean, have you used any of the Android device? Anything that would use an Android like OS or anything that was doing PS1 emulation? I haven't used something like that in a while outside of a Raspberry Pi.
Well, I mean, that's what a Retroid Pocket is.
There you go.
Device.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like the Miu Plus, that's a very cheap device, and it emulates PS1 games fine. I'm surprised they didn't even open it up to that, where it's like, oh yeah, you could technically play these PS1 games or something if you want, since you download those to your PS5 anyway. Just something so you have access to just anything, just to add a little more value to it. Not even cloud streaming is weird because they're launching Chronos next year. That part doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like you emulate something, or you just do cloud streaming, or just launch next year.
Yeah, I can't get over this Bluetooth thing. Like, if you have the backbone, you can connect your Bluetooth headphones to your phone. Like,
yeah, you're right.
It's just so bizarre.
The no Bluetooth thing is that people are really having a hard time with that. Like that is a real sticking point because it's so blatant.
Because people got
weird,
really dope Bluetooth earbuds. People spend money on those, and then all of a sudden now you have to buy theirs. It's very similar to like you have to buy their memory card. Remember like PSV? Yeah, you have to buy their memory. It's like that's the type of decisions that people don't like when you do proprietary type of memory or proprietary earbuds. Like that's just not good, but whatever. Like I said, whatever. If some people will buy it. They'll probably enjoy it. It'll probably work well enough for some people.
Hellman said, wouldn't the Project Q be able to use your Wi-Fi as a WLAN to negate the need for internet? Yeah, it would just go through your local internet. But if you were away from, so this is the thing that people are a little confused about. If you are away from your house, technically you can still connect through the internet to your PS5 using your access point. So you don't have to be home necessarily to use it. You can leave your house with your with your portal and connect from hundreds of miles away if you want and play your PS5. But I will also note something else. If you are a physical game collector, whatever's in your PS5 when you're 100 miles away is what you're playing. You're not removing the disc and putting a new one in from miles and miles away. So there's something else.
I just thought about that. I didn't even think about it. You know, if you're doing physical games and not digital, then
it's another reason why I'm confused they didn't do anything with cloud streaming. Again, it would at least get around that if you have nothing else you can do. And it's like, well, I have it. Technically, I can use their servers to play Persona or whatever, these games that I own. Something like RPG or something turn-based, their latency won't matter as much. Yeah, something like that. Can't even do that. So it is a little strange, yes. But we're waiting on the release date. We'll see how it sells. Are you picking this thing up, Sean?
No.
No, okay. I didn't know if you'd test it out and try it. Okay.
Nah, I don't. I have enough. I have too many fucking handhelds as it is.
You already kind of had that experience with the G Cloud, didn't you?
Yeah. Which I didn't like at all.
I wonder if they'll hack. This thing's gonna get hacked, I assume.
Yeah. But what's it running like?
Oh gosh, I mean, I'll open it to find out. I can't imagine it's gonna be much though, Sean. It'll probably be something very, very basic. Like it might have a hard time with Game Boy Advance games. That's what I'll say.
Jesus.
They're going to put minimal RAM, minimal processing power. They just need it to encode 1080p 60 frames and that's it. So not expecting a lot.
I'm gonna buy it and review it, but I'm not expecting much. I didn't get the PSVR 2 and I don't regret that. So I feel like I'm probably gonna buy this and I might regret it, but we'll see.
Yeah, at this point I just view it as a controller of the screen. It'll probably even be in the same section. It'll be next to their DualSense Edge controller.
Accessories,
It'll just be sitting there. So it's not really to be viewed as an extra system or anything. People still want that system. I don't think Sony can do it. They showed they can't do it with the Vita when they attempted it, and then they focused on the PS4 and dropped the Vita. So it's too difficult. Nintendo doesn't even do it anymore. So I don't know why Sony would turn around and revive a whole other ecosystem to hold up. Well, that's the portal. Let's talk about, Sean, do you want to talk about Denuvo? How Denuvo is going to war with the king of emulation?
They're so terrible.
They're after Sean. They followed MVG. They're after him too. I saw it.
Yeah, well, they don't follow me.
Oh, not yet,
because he used to be the king, but now he's the princess.
Maybe they didn't get the memo yet.
No, I mean, it's a terrible thing that it's happening, and I hope, at least it's an optional thing. I guess you could sort of take solace in that and just hope that no company decides to use it or anything, but it's definitely not a good thing.
You gonna test that the first time we hear Denuvo's in a game? Are you gonna fire it up to see what message you get?
Yes, I will.
I'm curious.
I don't fucking care.
What'd be crazy is if it doesn't give you a message, it lets you play the game, but it does like what Earthbound would do back in the day, or I think Metroid did it too, maybe. I remember Earthbound did it where it knew it was a pirated copy and it would just basically let you get halfway through the game and then just kill you over and over again.
I think it was like Banjo-Kazooie or Banjo-Tooie, and like Diddy Kong Racing also have some type of weird stuff.
That's at least that's funny.
One of the Batman games stopped letting you use the grappling hook, so you just not make it anywhere.
Awesome.
That'll be interesting because you brought up a good point. Sean, Denuvo is notorious for killing performance in PC games.
Exactly. That's my concern. I don't give a shit. If companies should protect their stuff. I completely get that, and I understand that. That's not my problem. My problem is that it does kill performance of stuff, and it's well documented, and that's why people don't like it.
They're also notorious for having their security broken in like 3 days. So
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. That's
what I was gonna
fun.
ask. I was gonna ask, like they're talking about this, and they talked about it, but isn't it just gonna get like cracked and broken anyway? So it doesn't really matter.
Possibly.
Or...
I mean, because it's a ROM that's going for you, and if people get into that ROM and just make it think it's on what it's supposed to be on, then I don't think it's gonna happen. So
yeah, like I'm sure that a game. Okay, so like a game that has it, let's say when it leaks online. I'm sure people will figure out a way to get around it, but the problem is going to be that it's still in the retail copy of the game, meaning that the people that are playing the game could be seeing the impact of this, hurting the performance of the game. So if anything, the emulated version could be the better version.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking crazy, dude.
I used to hack PSPs a lot back in the day, and some of my favorite PSP games were the GTAs, and those run so much better hacked, because when it was trying to run off a UMD or even off the original sticks, it would actually have all sorts of crazy pop-in and blurring. So if you actually cared about GTA, you had to hack it. I think we're gonna end up having that. The hacked Denuvo versions are better.
Well, look at
Unfortunately,
what MVG did with you go.
Yeah,
with Red Dead. He got it to 60 frames per second.
Yep.
Yeah, will Denuvo stop that? Like, would he not be able to experiment or play around with the frame rate limiter or anything with that?
Well, I mean, if it's utilized, but then again, we get into the conversation of if somebody cracks it and then you get around it, now you're getting the superior experience on your PC. Like, it's ridiculous to me.
That seems like a mistake to use just the performance and the calls it makes the CPU do over and over again. I don't know. I feel like we're gonna hear some stories about some games coming out that just crush your Switch in some way because of it.
I agree. Like, I don't want there to be. There's already sometimes performance issues, or a lot of times Like, I don't want it to be worse. But like Sean said, at least it's optional. But I mean, it's just hopefully they don't use it. Like I said, hopefully they don't.
We're here about the first place to sign up. It's Game Freak. That's gonna be crazy.
No.
enjoy your 10 FPS Pokemon that you need to emulate to get 60 FPS.
It's also weird that they're coming in so late. Like now they're doing it. We're in the 7th year now.
Setting it up for the next system.
Man,
what is going on here? Like they're just getting things set up for the next one, especially if people just gonna start, like, the next system comes out and maybe people don't.
What if Switch, the next system starts launching with games with Denuvo and like the logos on the back of the box and everything? Oof.
Yeah.
That's going to be rough. I don't need that future. Someone still needs to use it. Apparently it's fully integrated and developers can. So I have a feeling the big publishers will look into it more so than the small publishers or indie devs. So an EA might look into it, right? With NBA, just as an example, they might say, 2K, Take-Two might look at that. Whereas EA might look into it for FIFA, that sort of thing. I could see that being a possibility.
Yeah, Medusa in chat, Metroid Prime 4, now with Denuvo 20 FPS.
20 FPS, yeah.
Well, Nintendo obviously they all see the Switch games being leaked out early and then emulated and played and stuff, so they could control it with Denuvo even for that pre-release period. Maybe that's the move. I don't know. Like, strip it out on release. It's possible. But we will see. We'll see. Let's talk about, let's get these in now. Starfield, it's out on the reviews, I should say, 31st, embargo lifts. The 1st is when early access goes live. I will be playing it as soon as it comes out in early access to see what we have going on here. But
you
I want
to get a review copy there, big guy. I saw a lot of the Xbox podcast didn't get a review copy, huh?
No, we didn't get one.
Low man on the totem pole over there.
Did you get a review copy, Sean?
I didn't ask for one.
I might have gotten one.
I did not get a review code for Starfield. No,
I might or might have not gotten one.
Well,
you don't know.
Xbox, they see my tweets and they like me now.
Maybe next time. Maybe next time. It's always next year. But I mean, I think they'll do like a sweep for influencers. What is going on over there?
I love that wire is probably important.
He just ripped out a wire. Just came from under the desk with another wire. It's like,
No, I'm looking for my my Xbox One wired controller because I was gonna play something, but
Did you find the
your Xbox
wire and
One
not the
wired
controller?
controller.
oh, it works with the series as well. But this is the wire for it. But where's the controller?
Well, if it's a wired controller
what?
and the
How do you-
controller is not on the end of the wire.
No, you can like unplug it and stuff.
Oh,
It's the breakaway
As the
one.
break-
yeah,
breakaway.
breakaway.
Yeah,
But
okay,
where's the controller port?
I mean, it could have gotten far, right? Okay. Anyway, Starfield 31st. We'll see reviews drop. A lot of people trying to predict the Metacritic score. I figured we would try to do that here tonight and see who gets closest, I guess.
Let me go first because I have to pee.
All right, Sean, hit us with it. What's your Metacritic?
87.
87. Okay. Going with an 87. I'm gonna write that down right
no
here. There we go.
justification. Just immediately to the piss.
RGT 87.
I'm gonna-
Okay.
I'm going slightly under that. I'm going to say 85.
85. OJ, hit me
Okay.
with it. Oh, go ahead, Josie. You go ahead, Josie.
Okay, I was gonna say 86.
86 for Josie.
Should it be fair? I mean, I don't know if it's fair if I should say what the Metacritic is going to be. I don't know if it's fair.
Why is it not fair? You playing the game? OJ's playing the game right now.
No, I'm not playing right now, but I'm just saying, I don't know. Listen, I'll say this. I think that it's going to be anywhere between 88 and 91. That's my guess. That's like my honest guess. So
That
I'm just
feels
going to
like
say
a
88.
wide margin for a AAA game.
88 and 91, it's 4 points.
You got to pick a number, OJ. What do you got in there? What's the median?
Okay, I'm just going to say 80. I'll say 88.
88.
So,
Okay.
Yes.
What do you got, Jordan?
Well, two of my other guesses were taken, so I'm going to be different. I'm going to go 83. I'm going to go on the other end.
Oh,
of the,
wow.
Ooh, that-
Okay.
ooh.
What do you
And
got,
this is-
Evan?
And I'm excited for it. by the way.
Confirmed a hater.
I'll say Jordan is ready for this game.
I think a few people are going to be pretty harsh on it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm
okay.
trying to figure out because I feel like there's going to be a lot of emptiness and it's going to piss off a lot of people. But there's going to be a lot of news outlets that review it that don't normally review things, and they're just going to be like, "Oh my god, it's amazing! 100 out of 100," and it's going to pull the score up. 85.
Evan's got 85. I am going with a 91.
91.
I can see it.
There you go.
Damn.
I'm giving it the 90. I'm giving it the 90 treatment.
It can-
91 coming in.
It can
Yeah, we can
absolutely
talk about it next week.
Yeah, I wrote everyone's scores down.
It can absolutely get a 91. Like
Oh, yeah.
I feel that it could absolutely be that high because of its highs are potentially incredibly high.
Well, the right
If that
people
makes
from the
sense.
right places doing the reviews, yeah, it could hit that easily.
Yeah, but even if like heard from people who are playing the game, it's like one or two people. So there's going to be, I mean, we're probably going to have maybe 100 reviews on this game. So who knows where that score is going to fall. But I think people are going to be pretty happy with this game. So I'm going with a 91 on it.
Well, we can actually talk about our opinions on the game next week, though.
Oh, yeah. Because I mean, I'm playing it on like the first. So we'll have what?
Same.
6 or 7 hours in what's probably 150 to 200 hour game. It's like, well,
Yeah,
the
we'll
tutorial
get our
was
initial
good.
impressions. Yeah, we'll see how long it takes to get to the, off the first planet or stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, Josie, you playing this game?
Yep,
You already start
Done.
downloading. It's like a week away. You might want to start downloading it now.
that's true. I will.
no,
I'll
It's,
preload it.
You got on the you got a Series S, right?
Yeah, I mean, I
Oh,
played
cool.
on Game Pass.
Yeah, I want to see what the Series S experience is like too. So
I'll
if
let you know.
Download that. You can let us know. We're gonna be playing it in early access on the first when it goes
But
live.
Josie, what did you say? Your score was going to be 85?
Yeah, 86.
Josie's got an 86 on this one. Got
I'm
an
going to lower
86.
that for the Series S version. Oh,
Everyone gave it a
Hey.
everyone gave
No,
it a
I'm
great
joking, I'm
score.
joking.
Yeah, they're probably not
So-
going to send out the S version to reviewers. Really, please play this on the X.
Well, we understand it. They just gave out review codes, and it does smart delivery no matter where you have it. So I'm sure people will just try it on whatever.
They're
at that
probably
point.
saying, please don't review this on the S.
They
That's
they boot it up on the S, and the load screen is just like, "Are you sure?"
Hey man, what if the S impresses though? What if that whole game is
it
looking
might.
all right? That'd be
It might.
interesting.
I think it's probably going to be better than what people will expect on the S.
Okay.
The S
okay.
does pretty well, I think. I guess I don't have
what-
something to compare it to, but
Todd Howard said in an interview he's primarily played Starfield on the Xbox Series S. He said he's played it like 90% of the time on the S.
I'm sure he
Yeah.
has.
He's not playing it on his 4090 PC. Not at all.
Freaking ultra wide projection,
Right?
Yeah. He's
120
like, I don't want it to look
frames.
bad.
Yeah, I was gonna
Todd
say,
Howard probably has people play games for him. He's so rich, he don't even need
Yeah,
to play games.
He just sits
play
there.
this for me. I'm gonna sit over here.
Yeah. Do the trick.
Do you like
tries
this?
to act
What would
like
my
he's normal.
opinion be on this?
He tries to act like he's normal so much. He's so damn rich.
In my group chat, we always post the "Who's laughing now" clip all the time. The "Who's laughing now?"
Let's talk about Mario, the voice of Mario. It's hanging it up, well, kind of hanging it up. Charles Martinet will no longer be voicing Mario and a host of other Nintendo characters that he's known for. It does technically go back to, what was it? Typing with Mario, typing with Mario. They picked Super Mario 64. People were trying to correct Nintendo. They picked the game that most people know. That's why. I don't think a lot of people know typing with Mario. But Nintendo said in a statement, goes back as far back as Super Mario 64. Moving on now to a brand new role of Mario Ambassador. So no longer recording. And in fact, Mario Wonder is not apparently recorded using Charles Martinet's voice. So people will, I guess, find out who the new voice actor is when, or I guess are with the other character as well, when the credits drop. So end of an era there, 25, 26, 27 years, something like that. People were very emotional, I guess, on Twitter and other spaces. So I saw Charles in June.
Well, we'll probably see him again next year.
Right? We saw him too, Max. We were, I think it was me and Ryan and I were in the room that they had set up for guests and people who were there to do panels and stuff. And he was just kind of hanging out in there with us for a bit. He seemed very happy. So he was doing very well there. He was doing his whole setup where you go up, you can get pictures with him. He signed stuff, you hand him money. And he seemed very, very happy. I'll say that. I think he had a line the whole time. I'm sure he did very well. And he got to use all the signage from Nintendo. Mario was up there, Luigi, all the. So people were trying to figure out if there was some weird conspiracy behind the scenes, or there's like this drama. No, I think he's just like, you know what? I'm doing pretty well traveling the conventions, the scenes and stuff. As long as I can keep using Mario, I'm good. And I guess Nintendo was fine with that.
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead, Josie.
I was going to ask, he's almost like 70, right?
Yes.
67. He's 67.
Yeah, I mean, my guy should have retired like 10 years ago. I mean, he could have. I mean,
What age do you think people retire?
60.
38?
38, apparently. 38.
Yeah. They
But
did like a MTV crib style of his like tour of his like mansion a while ago too. So he's definitely been set for decades. I'm sure. I don't know what his deal is with Nintendo, if they're paying him like, I don't know, 1% of all Mario Wahoo sells, but he's definitely doing good.
Every time a Wahoo occurs, you get 50 cents.
I mean,
yeah.
I think of his voices and use stuff, but I do believe that there's a deal in place where he can just use the Mario IP when he makes the rounds, because that obviously helps him a lot to be able to put him next to Mario. And I mean, there's signage everywhere. If you go to these like Too Many Games, he had Mario signs all over the place, and it did very well for him. Like I said, he had lines the entire way, and I'm sure he's made quite a bit of money.
He's always going to be seen as Mario. Like, even when the new Mario comes in, he's always going to be seen as Mario. Like, and he's always going to be able to use that. So yeah.
I think I was of two minds. When I first heard this, I was a bit sad because I don't want him to retire. I like him. But the more I thought on it, the more I'm kind of like, I think it's nice that he can. I feel like so many people work till they die. It's kind of nice that he is just able to step away and hang out and just Wahoo when he wants to Wahoo.
Wahoo for yourself. No one else.
Well, he's doing the ambassador role, so there's probably going to be set up like paid events that he's going to. So like, I'm going to a lot of them. So I'm going to like Nintendo Live, like in Seattle. So he's probably going to be there.
He'll be there. I bet you'll be there. He when we were in that when we were in that room for like 15 minutes, he talked about like 3 different places that he was going.
So he'll
just travel around everywhere, and he had to like. I don't know, he had to go to like Wawa or something to get. He's just like running across the parking lot at one point.
Yes, that's why I ran into him at the store, and
It's
he was
really
in line,
funny.
and I was like, "Hey, Charles Matinee," and he was like, "Hello," and I was like, "Oh, it's Mario."
Oh, just so because people or I think I saw asking before online. Is he just talks normal, by the way, and people seem to think he's running around talking like Mario all the time.
Yeah.
He just talks normal. He has to like kick into the voice. The person that constantly talks in character is Snake.
Snake, yeah. Bowser does too. I hung out with Bowser last year, and me and Wood beat 'em ups were hanging out with him, and Wood filmed some TikToks with him and stuff. And yeah, Bowser's voice is pretty much just Bowser. So he doesn't talk much, like the character doesn't, but they'll like, that's pretty much just him.
It was end of an era, like I said, but it was a good time there. Too many games and all of that. And he seemed, like I said, he seemed happy. So he'll make the rounds. You'll see him at events. He'll still do all the Mario sound bites and stuff, I'm sure. But I'm curious who the new voice of Mario is, and if that's just their plan going forward. They've found him and they're going to stick with this one person, or what if they went between different people for voicing Mario depending on the game? I don't know. Be interesting.
I think he'd probably like oversee a lot of the voice direction and stuff, right? Is what I'm imagining his role is, or no?
I can see that
don't
too.
think
I'm
so.
sure there might be some consulting with him, but for the most part, I think he's just
The PR of it.
let me use
Yeah.
Mario. Let me use the
Okay.
Mario signage.
I don't think he's even PR, because that means he'd
Yeah.
be like working for Nintendo in that type of way. I think he's just as what an ambassador would that be like? You're just like, hey, when we go to an event, you're gonna be there, and hey, it's the original voice of Mario, and like that's about it. I don't think he's gonna have any way like who gets hired or anything like that. I think that's gonna be Nintendo's.
I
He's
feel
the
like he would have to go
gatekeeper for
to
the Wahoo.
I feel like he'd have to go to like Nintendo of America and stuff to record his lines and all that too. So he probably doesn't want to have to do all that anymore. But
Fair.
I think he's in a pretty good place from what I saw. So
Good for him.
Happy for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, he gets to travel around, do what he likes to do, make a bunch of money. Let's talk about the Series S. Actually, let me double check the super chats first, then we'll go to that. Let's see. We have this is from Back, who says, "Watch this sell less than PSVR 2."
Oh yeah, it's gonna.
I saw on Twitter Matt Piscatella, the MPD group, say that he thinks this will probably sell better than the PSVR 2 in total units. I could see that just because it's $200.
Yeah, it's a lot
It's
cheaper.
One third the price.
It's next to the controllers, so it'll. I mean, do you see PSVR 2 in any stores when you walk in? I don't.
At the very least, it'll confuse people who are like, "Oh, cool, a screen on my controller."
That is a question actually in here, which we'll go over real quick because I saw that pop up. How many people for Christmas are getting this thing thinking it's a PS5 or like a PlayStation handheld?
Oh yeah.
From like the mom or the grandparents or something.
They tried so hard not to abbreviate it and just call it a PSP. So
It does have that abbreviation though. I mean, you can go with that if you want. It's the PSP, but I feel like that's going to happen. I think somebody's getting this thing. Probably many people are getting this thing thinking it's a system.
without owning a PS5 at all.
I don't think
Yeah.
so. I think people are more and more able to Google stuff. I don't think it's going to happen that much, but I just don't think a lot of people are going to be buying this in general.
This is from Travel saying, "What do you recommend to get back into gaming?" So if you've fallen out of gaming, how do you get back in?
Find a
what's
game you like and just play
What's
it.
the game? What's the game you recommend to get back into gaming?
I mean, it depends on what he's looking for. Because I mean, I could say like a fighting game, and if he hates fighting games, he's gonna never want to come back.
Just
What's
remember what you played before and what made you the happiest, and then try to find something that is similar to that in today's day.
Tell them about the 10 terabyte hard drive, Sean.
There you go. Get a 10 terabyte hard drive. Got everything on it. You're good to go.
Those pop up and then fall off Amazon a lot, don't they?
Yeah, well, the 2 and 4s do. Yeah.
Seek out one of those because there's seems to be a lot of games on there already, apparently.
Yeah. I bought mine and it says no ROMs included, and you buy it and it's full of ROMs.
This is from Z, who says, "I want to use PlayStation Portal to play in bed, to be honest." There you go.
Use your phone.
Richard says, "Add-on, not standalone, equals hype." This is from Joe says, John, what are your thoughts on the Witcher? Worth it? You asked me about these too, Sean. Those the glasses.
Yeah.
You asked me about those. I did a spot for them today in the video, and I've used them most of the last week and then half of like bit of this week as well, just checking them out and stuff. And that it's better than like, VR, you can put the headset on and you have the screen in front of you and it kind of appears 3D. This one isn't quite that. It's more augmented reality to where it actually just looks like a flat screen in front of you. So it doesn't try to give depth to it necessarily, which to me makes it look clearer. The only thing I had to figure out was the nose pads, because they give you a bunch of them, so you got to try to fit it. But when you get the right fitting and stuff, it's pretty cool. It is. And the Switch has like the dock battery that attaches to it, and you don't need to have it plugged into the wall or anything. But the thing that I was surprised about with it wasn't necessarily the picture, was the sound, because they have like Harman speakers in it. So it actually sounds really good without needing headphones. But I like them. I will admit though, I saw people mention that the pricing's up there. So you gotta like commit or try them out ahead of time. And that's tough. It's like VR. It's hard to explain to people what it looks like until they get it, so that's the biggest thing. But I think for people who don't have, this comes up a lot, if you don't have like a dedicated TV, it's a pretty cool thing to have to the side. And you can see past the screen and see the stuff around you, and there's actually a button on the side that when you press it, it like basically shades everything around the screen and in the room, so it's like turning the lights off. It's kind of cool. It's a fun thing to check out. This is from I would look into that, Sean, if you can do a spot for him so you can check them out yourself.
Yeah, I need to still do mine.
Okay. You got them too, OJ?
Yeah, I got them shipped in, but like I need to do
Nice.
the video.
They offered them to me a while ago, and I'll be honest, I just didn't believe it at all. Like the hype was too. I didn't believe it, so I saw Wood's video on it, and I went, "Oh, these do actually kind of work." When they described it, I thought there's no way those work at all. Yeah,
they had messaged me before about it, and then Wood was kind of telling me about them and all this, and I was like, I'll check them out. So they're pretty cool. Like I said, they're better than I was even expecting. I was like, oh, this actually decent. I played Pokemon trading card game on it. It's pretty cool. And Zelda.
Nice. Pushing the limits.
I played Zelda as well. Okay, I played Zelda and Pikmin.
Play some Armored Core on there, get some motion sickness.
Right?
Yeah. Every time you dodge, you're like, oh.
No, because it's like a screen, and you can actually turn on. They have 3 degrees of freedom. You turn it on, and the screen will stay put in your room as you look around. So it's basically having like a TV in there. It's kind of cool. So it won't move with you when you shake your head.
That's amazing, actually. What the hell?
It's pretty cool. Yeah. This is from Juan says, I use the PlayStation app on my phone from far away, and when I need to switch a physical game, I call home, and my brother usually does it, but good point. Imagine
That's
calling
hilarious.
and being like, hey,
no
switch
way
the
you do
game
all
in
that.
the PlayStation.
Yeah.
You do that?
No way you do all that bullshit, man.
Yeah,
Cut the cap.
People
Don't do all that
lying,
bullshit. Just take something else. Get you outta
lying in
here.
super chats.
Change
Lying
the
ass.
game.
Head ass liar, bruh.
That was the thing I ran into. That's how I remembered that, because I did remote play back in the day on the PS3 with the PSP.
Same.
I remember I wasn't at home and I tried it. I was like, this is cool. I really want to play a different game. How do I do that? I was like, oh wait, I can't.
Well,
So
I remember back in the day, your console would not shut itself back off, or mine didn't. So I remember I used to turn mine on, and I would use it as the most ridiculously expensive MP3 player. So I had CDs burned on my PlayStation 3, and I'd play them through my PSP for like the hour until the battery died, and then my PS3 would be on all day.
Edison says, I can see parents buying the Portal for their kids thinking it's a device similar to the Switch. There we have Lucas says youtube.com/Dreamcast guy.
Classic.
Sean does it the best. Yeah. Sean does it the best. Delta says, if Starfield doesn't get 96 plus, then journalists are conspiring against Starfield. I don't know what you're thinking, Max, but you're wrong.
Oh my god!
It's good we
The
got a
call
super
out.
chat from a guy that's played it. I mean,
Yeah.
Elman says, you're old when the voice of Mario is Captain Lou Albano.
Hey,
Oh yeah.
old or seasoned?
Season. Oh.
Old.
I'd say
both
old.
of those things can
Old.
exist
Oh,
at
man.
the same time.
Okay, let's talk about the Xbox Series S situation, because there's another one that I was hoping MVG heard this story and thought it was like this massive deal. And I guess it kind of is. But the Xbox Series S was a hang up for Larian Games. Larian Studios said, hey, this is a problem for split screen. We can't get Baldur's Gate 3 to work on there for this year, so it's next year. PS5 is getting the game in 2 weeks or so?
Not
Less than
even
that, week and a half.
A couple days from now. Yeah,
week and a half. So on the 6th of September, Baldur's Gate 3, which is that and Zelda are the two best rated games of the year. And the Xbox was not going to get that. Apparently what happened was the CEO at Larian met with Phil during Gamescom, and Phil said, okay, we will drop the parity clause or bend the parity clause for this situation. The Xbox Series S will not have split screen co-op. The Series X will. It'll also have cross save and cross progression, however, so you can technically transfer characters around and all this. But that's how they're getting Baldur's Gate 3 there. The Series S is missing out on a feature that the Series X will be getting. And that is interesting going forward, specifically for other games that would be going to the Series S.
What's fun is he kind of like backed that up by being like, well, ray tracing is not all on S either. It's like, that's not a gameplay function, sir.
Right. That's all great. Like, that's what people bought the Series S thinking, is like the games would be the same across both systems, but visual differences. Obviously, you're buying a system that's, I mean, about half the price. You're not buying it thinking 4K and ray tracing, but you buy it thinking it's the same game.
I made a video saying this is a great thing. I said this is a huge W for Xbox because I have seen the developers talking about the fact that it is difficult that if you make a game on Switch, you make it for Switch. If you make it for PlayStation 5, you put it on PlayStation 5. But if you make it for Xbox, it's these two different versions of the console that have very different RAM, different memory. So I think this is good. I think this is going to actually lead to more games coming to it faster because honestly, I don't think it's going to be that many sacrifices. I don't think that many people were even playing couch co-op. So cut it, bring the best game of the year to Xbox right now. This is a huge W. I'm glad Microsoft did it.
Wow. Okay. So you're good on that. Do you think Microsoft's going to allow this for other games? I don't know.
I think when it's a certain amount, like, because at this point, there was a narrative, especially on Twitter, that I'm sure we saw people do it. A lot of like Sony pony style people were saying that essentially this is a PlayStation exclusive. The best game of the year is Baldur's Gate 3. You can only play it on the PlayStation 5 console. So I think that Microsoft realized they had to do something to get Baldur's Gate as fast as possible. I could see this happening again in the future, and I hope it does, like case by case basis. But it would be nice if they're like, hey, you got to have 95% of the features, but if there's something that just doesn't work, we'd rather have the game than not have the game.
Okay. Well, I mean, here's the thing. We're getting these compromises less than 3 years into the generation. And Microsoft expects the generation to go to 2028.
God.
So we still have another 5 years with the Series S. So is this going to become a problem that continues to build over time now? Is this just like the beginning of the Series S?
Absolutely.
Showing some struggles.
I can't wait for there to be a game that's like, this map doesn't work on the S, so you won't have it in multiplayer. It's like, all right.
Interesting.
I don't think it'll be that dramatic. I think it's just going to be as games start to look better, because Phil Spencer released that statement saying they're not making an Xbox Series X Pro at Gamescom. He said, people, as they figure out the Xbox Series X and S, they'll get better at using it, so the games will look better. We don't need to do a Pro. I do think that people are going to get better at doing the S, and the features that get cut will be very minor. I just think this is good because I have seen a lot of complaints, like the quantum error guys were talking about the fact that the Series S memory was causing them some problems. They said the game will run, the game will be the proper frame rate, but it just takes them so much more work to get it to run on the Series S. So
the memory has come up a couple times. I think if they had launched the Series S with the same amount of memory or memory configuration that they kind of had set up for the X, it probably wouldn't be this it wouldn't be this sort of issue right now. But they technically have 2 SKUs on the market, whereas Sony still just has 1 right now. So that's why you see so many games even run better on the PS5, because that's just like the default platform. It's been mentioned many times by Digital Foundry and others, like that's what they default to. There's 1 PS5 out there, so that's what they'll develop for, and then they'll port it to the X and the S and try to get it to work there.
so crazy because the Series X is stronger than the PS5, but the PS5 just keeps outperforming it. Since you're right, it is the default.
Yeah, everything just kind of gets designed there, developed there, and then the Series X comes along with it. But the Series S is going to be interesting because people were trying to I mean, there's a lot of discussion online about it being a mistake for Microsoft. I don't think it's a mistake for them because they've sold them. Like they've sold quite a number of Series S's at this point. And the thing I think people are starting to figure out is that the Series S is the majority of Xbox Series owners right now. It's like, I think it's like 55 or 60% in favor of the Series S.
What? I'm sorry, I've never heard that before. What?
More Series S's have sold than the Series X.
I'm legit mind blown. I could have assumed everybody was going to go for the Series X. That's so interesting.
For a while, it was easier to find it too. Oh, Josie.
Yeah, that's how I got mine because I found that was like the first thing I found, and then at least for like most of my friends, I think when you're at the age of like 20 to 25 and like a teenager, you want to get the cheapest console, and when they tell you that it can do the same thing, it's just not going to look as good, play the same games, most of us are fine with that. I was completely fine with it. I think this is a little like not bad, but I just don't want it to have like a long lasting impact on Microsoft, and for them to think that like I want these developers to try and put everything on the console, and I think that if like they really, really can't, or it's coming down the line, that's fine. But I just think it could set like sort of a scary precedent that they don't really have to try as hard on both consoles.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So if they're running into a problem, instead of going, let's figure this out, they go to Microsoft and say, let's drop this feature.
Right. And I think that could be bad, especially like you said, like if a majority of people are Series S owners, and then it's like, okay, well, the other option, you could just buy a Series X, but we already have a Series S. And so that's like more money on top of it, which is the reason we didn't buy the Series X. So I just think it could, I'll be interested to see where they take it. I just hope it doesn't become a main thing.
It's interesting you mentioned that like people in like your age group were fine with the Series S as it is, even if the visuals are a little lower, just because the price point.
Yeah, I mean, we're all in college. Nobody wants to go broke, so you just save as much money as you can, and if you're a gamer person, you buy the cheap one. That's what I did.
Okay.
That's what most of my friends do.
I'd not even considered that. That's so, yeah. I'll be honest, without looking at the numbers, I assumed it would be like 10-1. I assumed that 10% of people had a Series S. So now I understand the issue a lot better of that. Yeah. All of a sudden they're like, yeah, we'll cut some features. People are like, no, please, my God, don't do that.
Because weren't the numbers for the S even like in Japan, like that was the one that was selling, the S specifically? Like no one was really
it's a small sample size because it's not like the Xbox does much in Japan, but you can look at that Xboxes. And it's legit like a 65 to 45% ratio, or 55 to 45%, I believe, there as well. So
it's also really nice that it's small. Like it's a good form factor, especially for college. I mean, I've had this thing since freshman year. I've taken it all over the country with me. So it's been a pretty easy system for that kind of transition as well, which even like the PS5 sucks to take anywhere.
No,
so,
huge. It does.
You know, it's just
it's shaped weird, so it doesn't stack well. It always slides around if you don't have it on a stand. I mean, Sean's has survived against all odds over there. But
when I was moving, I like packed a bunch of towels around it so it didn't like go around. It was a stressful thing.
You know,
that was how you fixed the old ones.
What?
Sean, what I want you to do is the next time you're like doing stuff with your entertainment center or anything, and you're going to take a big picture of like, you know, the layout, you just take your PS5, put it on its side without a stand, because I want to see what Twitter reacts to there.
Okay.
No, I just want to see what if everyone points out, it's like, what is going on there? PS5 on its side, no stand. Just like you normally have it like that. I just want to see if you get a bunch of responses and people asking you what's going on.
I'll do it. I don't care.
I think it'd be funny. I think it'd be troll Twitter heavily with that. So that's we're gonna have to watch the Series S, because I actually think the Series S existing is keeping Microsoft from doing something else. Phil Spencer was making the rounds at Gamescom, answering many questions about a mid-gen refresh, because the PS5 Pro is apparently going to be a thing. Again, we need to see if this PS5 revision gets revealed and it's coming out this holiday. I'm completely on board that the PS5 Pro is a thing because we have a remote play device and this PS5 revision that allows you to take the disk drive out or install one. All of that lines up with their ports, then leading into the PS5 Pro. Phil Spencer does not think there needs to be any kind of pro system, no revision, nothing. He's on board with, we got our systems, leave it how it is. Let the developers and publishers work with this hardware. I am curious if any of that changes if a PS5 Pro comes out.
Right. I see Kofi had a tweet where he said, if the PlayStation 5 Pro ends up being like really strong and really ahead, and it becomes like the de facto big graphics console pusher, it'd be really weird if the Series X is just sitting there as the best they can do. It definitely feel like they'd have to do something in response.
It would be weird because Microsoft has always been like, we don't want to lose the hardware power competition, or we don't want to be second place on that. We always want to have the strongest hardware available, and the PS5 Pro would definitely kind of turn that on its side. So that's so weird too. I think the problem Microsoft runs into is they already have 2 SKUs. You introduce a third one and it becomes really annoying for developers, or just more difficult. Whereas Sony with a PS5 Pro means that they have 2 SKUs. They have the regular PS5, then they have the PS5 Pro. And while I did look at Immortals of Aveum and go, man, I wish they had a Pro model just to make this run well, I haven't run into any other games necessarily that made me go, we need a PS5 Pro, we need an Xbox, I don't know, XL. We need something
Series
new.
XL.
We need something new to fix this. Immortals of Aveum was the only one that gave me pause, but next year, maybe there are more games that, who knows, maybe Starfield, we start playing it and we're like, man, this would be better if it was 60. But
has any developer really like pushed the Xbox Series X to its like full potential yet?
I mean, some stuff like I think Gears of War, one of the backwards compat, pushed it up to 120 FPS. What's it called? Flight Sim. The Forza games are all like crazy, beautiful and high frame rate. But yeah, third party, no. I feel like third party has kind of been lacking.
I'm thinking this thing doesn't need to come out for like at least a couple of years.
Okay. Well, yeah, but then if we got a couple years in, Josie, then it's like we're talking about next gen systems then, because we'll be like 2026 or something. And then it's like, well, what's the point now? Let's hold out. But
true.
I don't know. Does it feel weird that we're talking about a pro system when we're still trying to get this PS5 going right now? Because we got a lot of cross-gen over the last couple of years, and now we're just getting like Spider-Man 2, Final Fantasy 16 came out. But you know what's interesting about 16? I wouldn't be shocked if they tried to port that back to the PS4.
No way.
That wouldn't shock me. After what I saw with Jedi Survivor, I'm not ruling that out.
The only reason I don't think so is I kind of think that Sony paid for, I feel like maybe Sony will pay them not to bring it to the PS4, of like, we're trying to put Clive's thick, beautiful chest all over the box art of the PS5.
Yeah, but for how long? A year exclusivity to the full?
Right, but if they release Final Fantasy 16 on PS4 in 2024, that feels, I don't know, that feels wrong to me.
There's still plenty of games coming in 2024.
I know.
Sean's been calling this thing for a bit of 2025 for PS4 finally be retired.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It's so weird. I mean, I don't even know. It feels weird that we're not jumping in feet first, because it felt like the PlayStation 4, Xbox One generation, it was a rocket. Those consoles came out and everybody was only making games on that. But I guess it's because there was no backwards compatibility. You weren't going to put something on PS3. But
we still got like releases on both, though. Like Ubisoft was doing like different games on both systems. Far Cry, it was ugly on the PS3. They still made it happen. So it's just been a weird generation. And I don't know if it's because the generational leap isn't as strong as it used to be, or if everything got topsy-turvy with the whole COVID situation and production getting backed up and all the reselling and scalping going on, or the difficult to find. It does feel like this generation got set back 2 years, maybe. I mean, right now during Gamescom, Phil Spencer says this feels like the end of the beginning and we're now going. Like,
Made it past the tutorial stage.
it's been almost 3 years. We're 3 years in, and now
Very
it's the
long
end of the
tutorial.
beginning. And I feel like Sony is kind of the same way right now. They're like, all right, Spider-Man 2's coming. We're done with these cross-gen games with God of War and Gran Turismo and Horizon. We're on to PS5.
Are they?
I feel like they need to be now, but who knows, man? That PS4 is just apparently irresistible to all developers.
Got a big install base.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a big install base. They know how to program for it because it's been around for so long. It's easy money.
Maybe the PS5 Pro is the start of the generation.
Oh,
Maybe.
God.
There we go. We figured it out. I don't know. I have not started up a PS4 in a while. Maybe I need to do that just to be reminded of what we left, and maybe that'll put the PS5 in the better perspective. Or who knows? Maybe I'll just be more disappointed.
Played Elden Ring at the beginning. At least it was better on PS4.
Yeah, that's right. If you force the PS4 version on the 5,
Yeah,
the frame rate is better.
So
Armored Core, same way apparently.
Yep, Armored Core does that too. You play it, it runs better on the PS5 as a PS4 game.
Man. This is a weird generation. I don't know. We're at least we got some games coming up that are just going to be on the PS5 and the Xbox Series, but
I don't know. And it seems like there's a little bit of issues with adoption rates and sales with the games as well. Like for example, like in Japan, like the PS5 sold less than 5,000 or less than 6,000 units for PS5 software. So it's not even like there's a ton of stuff that's even selling on top of consoles. So it's like Sony also had to drastically cut the price so they can hit their forecast.
I saw that they were cutting price, especially in like the UK and stuff. They were dropping prices all over the place
because the game prices are high in Europe. Like they're like $100 per like a full price game. So they have to offset things somehow. So I mean, if I'm a developer, I'm looking at PS4 like, we might need to still support that too, just in case you don't want to.
Well, we have Starfield pushing Xbox pretty heavily right now. I saw people mention and show Amazon jumped so many places for the Xbox, and I think Starfield is going to do some pretty big numbers when it drops. So that'll at least might give Microsoft a good kick in the back to get going. So.
Absolutely, but I mean, it's just I don't know. If I'm a developer and I have a scalable engine, I'm not just going to put it on or just on PS5 and Xbox Series. I'm going to put it on both, especially if it's a game where it's a gameplay like focus, like Armored Core. You don't need to put that only on PS5 and Xbox Series. Why? Put it on every that type of game. It's not trying to push graphics to the max. So to me, it makes. But I get people wanting to move on though. But I mean, you got to have a solid business plan too, and the adoption rate right now is good. But it's not like, oh my gosh, everyone's like, they're not selling like 7 million consoles per month. They're not doing that right now, and the games aren't selling like that right now.
It'll be interesting to see how Armored Core does in the charts next week in Japan, because that is legitimately a bigger title in Japan.
It's pre-ordering well. It's pre-ordering well, so I do think that it's gonna be a solid start at least.
Best-selling Armored Core game ever. So
yes,
it's again, the bar is not very high for that. So I think it'll do well there, and I'm sure FromSoft will eventually probably pass it off a year or two from now to Game Pass and make a bunch of money there too. So they're in a good spot. Sean, are you doing after show tonight?
Yeah, I'll do it for a little bit.
There you go. Sean's going to do an after show. Well, we covered all of our topics, but I need to double check. We still have a few super chats to go over as we finish up here for next week when we can talk about Starfield 5. I feel like we've been talking about Starfield forever, and finally next week we'll at least been able to play the game. Let's see. We have J2 Blue says Splatoon has an enjoyable and fun single player mode. What is your favorite multiplayer game with a good single player mode?
Titanfall.
Splatoon. Oh, sorry.
Halo 3.
Jordan said it. What'd you say, Josie?
Oh, I said probably Splatoon.
Okay. Jordan, you said the correct answer.
Thank you.
Well, what did you say?
I said Titanfall 2.
Yeah, Titanfall 2.
Yeah.
That is a awesome single player mode, and it's not long or anything either. And it is a shame that more people have not played that single player. It is on Game Pass though, I believe, because it's part of EA Play. So if anyone has not played it and they want a good first person shooter single player game, check it out. I don't know, is multiplayer still active on that? I haven't checked in so long.
Only the really hyper competitive scene. One of my friends
Oh.
plays it. He said you can't really like just hop into a lobby.
Emperor says, was that number provided by Microsoft? Microsoft does not like talking about console sales at all, but I'll say there's reason to believe, just what's out there publicly, that yes, the Series S is the better selling of the two right now. I do kind of think that as we go forward, Microsoft's going to do more bundles and get more stock for the Series X, and it could start to even out. But yeah, there's reason they can't leave the Series S right now or cut it down drastically in terms of features, because that's where the majority of their sales would go technically. And Throne says the Series S is a redheaded stepchild. It can't even run UE5 without major cutbacks. It also can't hold a stable frame rate on UE5. I think that's in reference to Digital Foundry's video on Immortals of Aveum, where it's like 460p or something.
That could speak more to the developer than the engine.
Again, that you're right. That is Ascendant. This is their first game technically they've made. I need to see more UE5 games. This is UE 5.1, I think. I need to see more of those before I guess I can say, okay, yeah, these systems they're in trouble. We'll see. Someone will use Unreal Engine 5 outside of Epic, because I think Fortnite's on it. And when we see that from a studio outside of Epic, then we can make a better judgment call. But not a good outing, I'll say, for Unreal Engine 5.
I don't think one game determines
yeah.
determines everything, you know?
And the engine's super adaptable, so you could get like side scrollers and stuff on it. Doesn't really mean anything.
All right. Well, like I said, we'll see. And they might even work on patching the game. Maybe it gets better over time, but
I'm not like a big performance person, but I don't think I've really ever noticed any like major issues with any of the games I've played. Granted, I'm not playing like every huge game on the Xbox, but they'll run fairly okay to me.
I would be curious to see your take on Immortals of Aveum with the resolution it runs on the Series S. Because I can notice very quickly that there was something going on with that image, that it was soft, it was breaking up. It was pretty obvious. So I think most people notice it. But although apparently a lot of people noticed it after Digital Foundry put their video up.
Yeah, I watched their video and I was like, "What's
how it always works?" Returnal was fine. Returnal was fine,
yeah.
And then Digital Foundry says it's in 10. Oh my god, it's in 1080p. Oh, we were all playing Returnal and it was fine before Digital Foundry did a video on it.
I
can't see anything now.
Nate can vouch for me. I have the DirectX recording where the DirectX Box recording where I said I think there's something wrong with the game because of how soft it looks, and there you go. I confirmed the Digital Foundry.
Okay, I'm just saying Returnal. I saw that so much. Nobody complained about Returnal until after the video.
This one's much more obvious. I feel like if I put this in front of most people, they would know. They'd be like, "Ooh, okay, hold on." Let me go around here though as we finish up. I will check Streamlabs as well. Let's start with Max. Where can everyone find you?
YouTube.com/Dreamcast guy. Got a big review for Sea of Stars going up Monday, and then going to be talking about Starfield. Hell yeah! So
man, I gotta try to find time to play. I don't know. I'm trying to play that. That's gonna be tough, man. Josie, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on YouTube at Josie Woe. I make just retro reviews. I had one about Kirby that I just put out, and then I just finally put out like the full video of my thoughts of Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah, just YouTube and Nintendo content, really. That's pretty much it.
Check out Josie over on her channel.
Oh, I'm almost at 8,000 subscribers. I'm like 20 away.
Wow. Okay, go check out her channel. Subscribe to her 8,000. Awesome. Wow, coming up on that 10,000 mark. Very nice. I do want to point out a few of the Streamlab messages here. This one's from AAR7 saying, greetings from Qatar. I wanted to say that the new device from PlayStation is the stupidest thing in gaming history. I use remote play for over 10 hours every week playing JRPGs on my phone or tablet. I don't see why anyone with a phone or tablet would buy this. There you go. This is from Isjen, who says, sending support to Dreamcast guy who has the most aggressive Twitter comment section I've ever seen. Much love.
I don't even read it. I could like post a pic of me and my friends hanging out, and someone would be like, "Oh, you have friends? Do you pay them?" I was hanging out with my girlfriend, and someone said he's trying to bang his sister, and she was like, "What are you fucking talking about? My God, I don't even have a sister."
Jesus, that is. Oof. That's savage.
It's Twitter. Who cares?
Yeah,
Jordan,
yeah.
where can everyone find you, Jordan?
You can find me, Jordan Fringe, on YouTube. I have a bunch of content coming out, both on that, and then also I have the gaming channel. So a bunch of content prep for the rest of the year. This is where you can find me.
Good stuff. OJ, where can everyone find you?
Right here on YouTube, Player Essence, got some cool stuff. Monday, come watch me suffer. I'm playing Call of Duty Modern Warzone for the first time ever. Yeah, I'm
cool.
doing for the first time. I don't play first-person shooters. I get
Why are you
nauseous
playing Warzone?
because I have sponsored stream. So
Is this what system is it on?
it's going to be Xbox Series X, I think. I think I'm going to be.
Oh,
Xbox
what time are you doing
Series.
that?
Here comes
I'm
the
gonna
crew.
Probably around maybe 7 o'clock. You guys, this time, East Coast, 7 o'clock. It might be 7 or 8 o'clock. So nighttime. It'll be. I know my time will be like 4 or 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So if you guys want to roll through, come help me play.
Yeah, if I'm around, I'll jump on.
I've never played it like that. So, and I'm not good at shooters. So come watch me suffer on the player. Like, I don't like Call of Duty.
Sean's pretty good at Warzone. He screams a lot.
You guys can come through and help me because I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'll be doing that on Monday as a sponsored stream. And my normal content is usually RPGs and Nintendo stuff. So I'll be doing Sea of Stars. Got some cool stuff lined up for that as well. And I got some cool stuff lined up for other RPGs that are coming out, like Super Mario RPG and all that. So yeah.
Josie, have you played Warzone before?
No.
Oh, see, you should do OJ and Josie play Warzone.
Josie, you should come through if you can. I don't know if you're going to be
It's
busy.
free to play.
Is it tomorrow?
Monday. I'm doing it Monday. Yeah, around 5 o'clock, maybe 4 or 5. The guy gets off of work, so I gotta wait till he's ready to go. But yeah.
If you're
Free
still
to play,
playing at
there it is.
8:30,
Okay.
when I get off work. I'll hop
Okay.
on.
Cool.
They have
I might
they have
still be
quads,
playing.
They have four people. In a
By then
party
he'll be
mode.
pro. It'll be great.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably gonna be a pretty long stream because the person paid me quite a bit to do it, so
There
it's
you
gonna be
go.
a pretty long stream.
What about Evan? Where can everyone find you, dude?
You can find me on YouTube at Kimmerix Project for tabletop type stuff. I've been getting in a lot of games for 40K, so I'm probably start more videos talking about the tactic strategies and stuff that's starting to pop up for that game in this current season.
Okay. And then Sean.
RGT 85 after show just went up, so come over and say hi if you want. If not, fuck off.
Oh, okay. Go
my
check out
attitude.
Sean's channel, his streaming channel. He's got the after show going. Thanks everyone for joining us. We'll be back next weekend where we can finally talk about Starfield after playing it. So exciting stuff. We'll see you guys then.